Morning. How's everybody doing this wonderful Friday morning? Wow. It is the 12th day of December. And do you know what that means? Today is national, or it is Kiss a Ginger Day. Don't know about national, but it's just Kiss a Ginger Day. I had no idea, but of course I've got this wonderful guy over on the Twitter side, Dance Biker Dance, and I've done some YouTube stuff with him, but he's a ginger, of course, and he's like, I'll show you. He was just like, this is awesome because you should see what it looks like right outside my door. And I was like, well, what do you got going outside your door? Because this makes no sense. What are you talking about? And he said, no, I've got this line of wonderful ladies out there, and they're really getting excited to come and see me. So I'll show you what it looks like. See? So there it is, right there. That's what it looks like right outside his door. This guy's National Ginger Day. This is right outside Dance Biker Dance's door, and he's just as happy as can be because that's what you got. I love it. No, it's wonderful. Make sure you hit that poll. Make sure you hit that poll. Really? It's January, not December. Well, that's what I said. Did I? Or did I say December? Jesus. See, I don't even know where I'm at. Good to see you, Lexi. Cool gamer. Wonderful. Well, see, there you go. I got a poll for you, right in there. All you got to do is just tag that poll. Also, I'm able to stream over to Kick. I want to thank Jessica Reloaded for helping me out with that because I've been trying to get Kick to work for since since I talked to Madcore Mofo. He was like, "Oh, have you streamed over to Kick?" I was like, "No, I hadn't done that." But welcome all you fine folks over there on Kick. I know that you're welcome to check it out. I don't know too much about Kick. I'm still figuring that out. So the first thing was to be able to see if I could stream over there. So hit it up in the chat, give it a thumbs up or whatever you guys do over there on Kick. I haven't checked that out yet, but I can see that you are there if you're in the chat. And yeah, don't worry, we don't get insulted here. We don't try to insult, but that's how we are. Man, oh man. Good morning, Danielle. My God, girl. Are you up? Are you up and about? You ready to rock and roll with your morning? You ready to rock and roll all night and party every day? Hey. It's good stuff, man. What a beautiful morning that it is. I was on with Jessica Reloaded. Both of us were able to cover a little bit more of the Johnny Depp stuff, and it was good. It was good. We had a good time, but it looks like we may be having to change some of that up because I don't know. You guys don't seem to be too interested. We're not getting a whole lot of chat interaction over there on the either side of our stuff that we're doing. I mean, people come in, but like the interest really doesn't seem to be enjoyable. So talked with Jessica. We may just shoot straight over to Amber Heard's little testimony or her couple of days of bitching and moaning about about being such a piece of garbage that will just waylay, doing all of the other stuff in between. We might throw a couple of other people in there, but I think after talking with Jess, that may be what we do and sort of get that one done and over and out of the way, and we'll see how it goes with the Ghislaine Maxwell. I mean, there's plenty of content there, but it's also a little bit more disturbing. We might bring it up, get a little bit lighter hearted. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It is a wonderful thing though. We're having a good time. I enjoy streaming with Jess. She's good people. You're only there for the boobs. Yeah, the bobs are awesome. Love the bobs. It's so it yeah. So Well, it looks like Kick is working good though. Got two you fine folks over there. Like I said, I don't know how it works over there on Kick. What kind of stuff I should be looking for, but it's pretty cool. Thanks again, Jessica. So yeah, I was having a little bit of fun last night, and while I was talking with Jess, I was just like, well, so what do we got? You know, what kind of new stuff is out there? And I started looking up some pretty cool stuff, and was able to find this really interesting story. And it started out, oh come on, it started out on Twitter first to initially. God damn it. Ugh. Uh, Copy. Let me pull this up here because this is pretty interesting news. It's sort of lighthearted. I was like, nah, that's pretty neat. So let me pull that up, and it is this neat little story right here. Present the share screen. Damn it! Ah, there it is. This tab instead. There we go. So Musk defends college student over free speech. You're like, huh? What does this have to do with? Hey, DB, good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing this morning? I thought Kick was a sex site, but I don't do social media, so I'm not sure. No, actually, Kick is more of. They are based out of Las Vegas, I believe. They used to do a lot of like online gambling stuff, but they sort of flipped it over into more of the streaming kind of stuff. So, like, you'll see more like gamers and stuff like that over there. And Pixie, how you doing, girl? Hope you're feeling better and getting back up on your feet and kicking it really hard. So, what this story is about, Platform X owned by free speech absolutists, which is not true. He's not free speech absolutist, but he is doing what he can where he can. Elon Musk helped a student win an appeal against the University of Illinois. Was it University of Illinois Champaign Urbana? To avoid disciplinary action with the help of ex lawyers, and so he got his lawyers on this. So Juan David Campriaglo, or I can't pronounce his last name. We'll just call him Campy because he seems like a pretty stand up guy. He's like an entrepreneur. I did a little bit of reading about him on some of the stuff he's trying to do on Substack. Oh, excellent! I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that you are feeling better. And what he did is he got a one of his posts got him a violation of student code of conduct on that campus. If you can be punished for posting about free food, what can you be punished for? So that's what he was doing. So these lawyers, they argued in a letter to the university that Campy was within his First Amendment rights, and the school didn't reverse the findings. It would result in a violation of his rights. The Post said the university originally fought against the student's legal representation. How would you like that? Telling him he wasn't allowed a lawyer for disciplinary proceedings. In the end, the student won and is now allowed to post on his X account and can continue his on-campus job and student housing. Gene Shar, the partner at the law firm, commented on the Post. He was honored to have been able to help Mr. Campliago win this important fight for free speech. And he was just like, well, what exactly was it that got him in trouble? Because that's what I was curious about. What got this guy in trouble? And open that right there. You can share this tab instead. So this is what got homie in trouble right here. Want to join your insider group. In the year before the ongoing pandemic, 10.5% of U.S. households, or approximately 35 million Americans, were food insecure. This number has jumped significantly since 2020, with some estimating the rate has doubled. So he wrote this story, the impact of food insecurity on college campus, where a mixture of food insecurity, stress of college contributes to more likely, kids falling more likely into the lower GPA category. So basically, not enough brain power, not enough food. It's so the current efforts, first step, more is needed, university response. And what he would do is he would sort of figure out where, with all these things that he had going on, how to get food to these, college students where you could go to get coupons, sort of getting together with all of the nice little food groups, the little places that do food where they might have free samples. There's food that just sort of goes to waste, and there might be a way that they could sort of help feed these college students that are irresponsible with their money sometimes, and sometimes they just don't have a whole lot. College can be quite expensive, and food and housing are two of the bigger things outside of their books that they need. So he basically put together a little thing to get these kids, like, either on some sort of food stamps, a way to get food for you know to get through college. And and the college campus didn't like it and tried to shut him down. And Elon Musk got his lawyers in there and said, hell to the no. And they basically got him reinstated where he's not going to lose school. I thought that was a pretty good feel good story. I was like, you gotta have stuff like this go on for these younger kids. I don't have any problem getting food, obviously. If you saw me, you would understand. Sure. So this is what he basically wrote March 7th, 2023. And this is what got him off of there. Focus on this UC free food incentives. Talk to local restaurants. See if they give us free food and coupons for the people to share, as well as small samples you give away, but can promote their business. Um, that's th- this is pretty awesome stuff that this kid was doing. He would check up, look at the account, plan his day accordingly. But this is pretty neat. This guy's doing what he can. Like, there's a food truck, no purchases required. Show your iCard to redeem. I mean, free cheese quesadillas. How awesome would that be? Like, they're getting promotion. It's not probably always going to be the healthiest thing, but it's going to be something that goes in the kid's stomach. I'm just like, man, why you guys want to be hating on this poor guy? But Musk stepped up, got those guys, like, you know, you got to be happy. Not a fan of Musk, but good for him on this one. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not really a huge fan of Musk either, but I'm always impressed that what he does that you know a lot of people don't hear about. And it's not to like win somebody over or anything like that. He just sees a place where he might be of assistance, and you know he's flawed like every human being. So some people do good, some people try to do good. I think he did pretty good on this one. Sad world we live. Kids and teens and college students are hungry. Yeah. And some of that goes to bad choices. I think that college can be wonderful for a lot of kids, but it can also be destroying. It's not always necessary that every single kid has to go to college. I mean, back whenever I was I was much, much younger, the option was to go to a community college, and community college can be just as enlightening, especially if you're trying to figure out what you want to do. I think that's the biggest problem people run into is they get into college not knowing where they want to what they want to do, where they want to go. They just got into this big college. They're away from home, away from family. Some of them get homesick. Some of them eat their worries or start partying too much, or you know, and then lose focus of why they're there in the first place. It's sort of screwy, and I feel bad for quite a few of them, because it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't ever have to be that way. Oh my, good lord, what a day! So my day is going to consist of getting out way too early in the morning to think. Oh, yeah, it's way too early in the morning to think. Don't think. Just realize today's kiss a ginger day. You know, hit the thumbs up, hit the like, check out the poll. I lived on ramen noodles in college. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's okay that you lived in ramen noodles. I bet you were quite the tasty treat, DB. Quite the tasty treat. She said, "No, no, not not in, on." I mean, you could be on ramen noodles too. I mean, that's fine. It's totally different in Australia. You go to uni in your own city. There's no accommodation required because you're still at home. Oh, that's pretty cool. But there's people that move to different parts of the country. Also, um, yeah, I'll give an example. My wife, when she went to UGA, she was taking linguistics, I think, something like that, and she found that the only way that she could get to the level where she could be a teacher, because that's what she wanted to do, is was teach language. The only way she could do it is if she went and spent, oh, what was it, like 2 years doing her undergrad, but she would have to do it like in Michigan or Minnesota or some crap like that. And she was like, "Oh hell no, no hell no." I don't like I like looking at snow, but I don't like it that much that I would have to spend 4 years in a totally different state. So there is that, because they had no undergrad program there at the University of Georgia. It was just like, yeah. So she switched and ended up becoming a lawyer. Good on her. I think it'll depend on see how crazy she gets with it, because I know that sometimes this drives her a little bit nuts, the lawyering thing. But I had actually some pretty interesting news out of what is it? Control. Let's click. Yep, that one and that one and that one, because I was curious about this and I had found this um, on the interwebs, and this was yesterday that I found it, where I was like, "Holy crap, what is this all about?" And paste and go. There we go. Okay, cool. Here it is. Here it is. We're speaking of like the whole alien thing here. I was like, what the heck is going on with these illegal aliens in the Texas? Because I pulled this up on the Twitter. I was like, what is going on? Got your master's from Caltech while you were in the Navy. That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm glad. That's always a beautiful thing, is seeing that, being in the military, you could go and get a degree. Um, and it also helps in your rank, which a lot of people don't understand this, that you can do things. So let me guess, you were in, geez, San Diego, more than likely in San Diego. That could be. I think that's right. My uncle was stationed out of San Diego. He'd be out to sea for months at a time, and whenever he got out of the Navy, my aunt was just like, this is weird, because I'm not used to having you around. I don't know if I like you that much." Oh, officer four, when you resigned. Nice, nice. Yeah, I got out whenever I was a spec four, which is just it used to be they had a corporal. I think they, from what I heard, someone was telling me they brought corporals back in the army, or I might just be not remembering right, because they were eliminating the rank of corporal whenever I was in the army. It was, because you have your E1, which is nothing, your E2, which is basically nothing, your E3, which is private first class, and then you go to E4, which was corporal or specialist, and then E5 was sergeant. So I was on the track to becoming sergeant, but I could never become sergeant because, well, they had too many sergeants in my unit. And they were like, "Yeah, unless you change your MOS and go elsewhere, there's no way you're going to make sergeant, at least in the next 5 years." Which sucks whenever they tell you the only way you can go active is become you have to hit E5 before you can like go full time National Guard. So then you're just part time lackey. Yeah, mosquito wings. Bottlenecking is a biatch. Eris is in bed, just trying to stay awake to watch shiz this morning. Oh, that's wonderful, Danielle. If I can do anything to help put you to sleep, Danielle, you just let me know. Oh, you were a sniper and OIC of the range. Oh, that's awesome. Officer in charge of the range. So there was, like I said, there was this wonderful thing that I pulled up on the Twitters, and I was like, "What the hell is going on with this stuff?" So this is at the border, and what it ends up being, and I'll just mute it because I don't want to hear their talking. So just seeing all these people here with their little silk suits on. This is a park in a city in Texas. It says just in National Guard has seized Shelby Park and Eagle Pass, preventing a border patrol officers from entering the area as the border crisis continues to spiral out of control. Good to see Texas taking matters into their own hands. I was like, well, what exactly is going on? Because this is, more craziness. Like this is the little park, um, and it's right along like the Rio Grande, supposedly. I don't know this area very well. I'm not going to pull up a map about it, but National Guard moved in and they started kicking out the border patrol. So I was thinking, well, what exactly is going on in Z Texas? Because I had no idea anything about those. Let's see. Continue. All right, I'll turn off the freaking ad block, you pieces of garbage. I hate when they do that. There we go. How's that? Refresh. Now, so of course, why not pull up the one of the more biased here things here so you can sort of get an idea of what exactly they're talking about. Could you be much better? How would you catch it before it grabs hold? I can usually stop them. We shall see. Hugs and thank you, Daniel. So let's do this. We will present this. So this is the story out of CBS, Washington. I don't care. The Texas state officials this week abruptly blocked federal U.S. Border Patrol agents from patrolling a public area in the border town of Eagle Pass, where they typically first encounter migrants who cross the Rio Grande illegally. Two U.S. officials told CBS News on Thursday. So after seizing control of Shelby Park and Eagle Pass, Texas National Guard units deployed by Republican Governor Greg Abbott. Oh, would it really matter if he's a Republican or not? He represents the whole state. So you could have just said Governor Greg Abbott have prevented Border Patrol agents from entering the area. But the federal agent said Border Patrol has used the park in recent weeks to hold migrants in an outdoor staging area before they're transported for further processing, including last month when illegal crossings soared to record levels. Earlier Thursday, state officials prevented Border Patrol boats from patrolling that area. One of the officials added, requesting anonymity because they were not authorized to talk to the press. They are denying entry to Border Patrol agents to conduct our duties, the officials said, noting they are not sure what authority Texas officials have over the federal government. Well, we'll get into what officials they have, what actual power that he has over this. So, under federal law, Border Patrol has a legal responsibility to process migrants on U.S. soil and determine whether to detain them, transfer them to another agency, deport them, or release them into the country pending a court hearing. Isn't that weird? The international boundary between U.S. and Mexico is located in the middle of Rio Grande in Texas. Eagle Pass Mayor Rolando Salinas said the small city, which administers Shelby Park, did not give Texas state officials permissions to take over the area. Does not matter. It's not this isn't up to you. This is the governor of the state sending in Border Patrol to take control of the situation. Why? Because Border Patrol agents were basically just constantly letting people in. Like, okay, here you go, here you go. They weren't sending them back across the border or stopping them from crossing the border. And Governor Greg Abbott was just like, yeah, we're not gonna play this. Michael Perry, a spokesman for the Texas Military Department, which oversees the National Guard, said the actions taken by the state were designed to prevent illegal crossings by immigrants or migrants, as they put it. Or maybe they said immigrants, but they put it down as migrants. It's not quoted, so you never know. So it says the Texas National Guard has maintained a presence with security points and a temporary barrier in Shelby Park since 2021. The current posture is to prepare for future illegal immigrant surges and to restrict access to organizations that perpetuate illegal immigrant crossings in the park and greater Eagle Pass area. The seizure of Shelby Park is the latest and most brazen effort by Texas state officials to challenge the federal government's authority on immigration. Under Abbott's leadership, Texas has bused tens of thousands of migrants to Democrat-led cities, arrested thousands of migrant adults on trespassing charges, and fortified the banks of the Rio Grande with razor wire and floating barriers. I think landmines and some gators might slow things down a little bit. Last month, Abbott signed a law known as SB40 that would allow Texas law enforcement officials to arrest, jail, and prosecute migrants on criminal state charges of entering the country illegally. The law, which criminalizes already illegal in the federal level, is being challenged in federal court by Justice Department civil rights groups, is set to take effect in March. Wow, that's a lot to take in. But I was curious about this law known as SB40 and what exactly it says. It goes a little bit deeper than just arresting immigrants. It goes because I pulled it up. I was like, well, what exactly does this thing read? And so I found this little 5 questions thing that they had put in, and this comes from somebody else. It's a National Immigration Forum, because sometimes you get the truth and sometimes you get partial truth and sometimes you get a spin on everything. And so I was curious, what exactly is it? And I did find the actual wording to this particular thing. So this one is not the wording for it. This is from the National Immigration Forum, and 5 things you need to know. Why is SB4 significant on a national level? It's because already similar bills are pending in state legislatures. Law will make it more difficult for law enforcement to keep everyone in the community safe. So you can clearly tell they're against it. So they're saying the law will make it more difficult for law enforcement to keep everyone in the community safe because relationships of trust between immigrants and law enforcement will give way to fear and tension. Despite the provision of the law intended to protect crime victims and witnesses, law enforcement leaders are concerned that in practice they will refrain from calling police for fear of being targeted for immigration violations. Well, stop breaking the law, asshole. Jesus, only a few would suffer before the rest got the message. It might not be the best idea to sneak into the U.S. The border is closed. Exactly. But the law doesn't actually target immigrants. We'll get into that. SB4 limits the authority of local police chiefs and sheriffs to direct their departments in ways that boost community safety. Actually, it doesn't. I've read the law, and what it does is it will charge sheriffs, deputies, border patrol agents, city and state officials for allowing immigration to happen, with basically just letting them in, just saying, come on in, we don't care. That's what it'll do. It'll actually put them in jail. First offense would be, I think it's like $1,000 fine. And second offense, it jumps up to like a $25,000 fine. And each one of those fines that they impose as they go up, they're supposed to go to help victims from, deaths and chaos caused by immigrants that come in and violate our laws and hurt people, and also to help immigrants that have been brought across that have basically suffered SA from their captors that have been shipping them across the border. It's going to help those people out. It says SB4 will put federal immigration enforcement work in the hands of local law enforcement officials. Yes, it will. And it will hold them responsible, holds their feet to the fire. SB4 will amount to an unfunded mandate on local law enforcement. No, because people will be charged and that money will go back into it. The people that get in trouble, they will be fined. If they're not able to pay the fine, they will spend time in prison, which will overcrowd our prison systems again. And it would be just easier to send their ass back across. I say, kneecap a couple, and these guys will sort of calm down just a little bit. They'll maybe stop showing up at your border. It's just a thought. I mean, I could be wrong, but it sounds like a good thought to me. SB4 is likely to deter businesses, organizations, and tourists from coming to Texas and spending money there, as occurred in Arizona, following the passage of state show me your papers law, which I doubt that's what it was called. It could depress by the buying power. It doesn't matter if immigrants are spending money or not. If they're not paying taxes, you're sort of screwed. Yeah, if you stop fucking allowing and coddling illegals, it'll stop people from handing their kids off to strangers. Will stop the SA. Yeah, it's worse than just the SA, because what this bill actually goes for, what it's going for is it's going for the people that are bringing them across. That is who it's targeting. So if you get caught shipping people across, they will drag your ass in and they will fine you. For every single individual that comes across, that's a charge. So if you're one of those coyotes and you're bringing them across, or you're one on the American side that brings them in, you're going to get charged for each one. You allow 1,000 of those people to come in, you're looking at about $250,000 fine and 5 years in prison for each one. Like, it compounds. So let 1,000 in, your life in prison. How you feel about that? They're not going after the immigrants. They're going after the people bringing them in. Target them, arrest them, put them in prison, and the next one will pop up and you put them in prison. You just keep doing that until they say, you know what, this is not worth it. It is not worth it. And that's where it goes. How will it affect the community? By making federal immigration deterrents mandatory, the state of Texas likely creating tens of thousands of dollars for millions of immigrants. Only tens of thousands. That's well worth it. Law enforcement agencies in the state of Texas itself creating significant burdens on Texas taxpayers. The loss of state funds to communities that resist aspects of SB4 that undermine community safety. SB4 will undermine public safety by hurting law enforcement's relationship with local immigrant communities. There's a difference between legal and illegal immigrants. I think the stuff is already hurt with illegals coming across. And every recent president candidate has used illegal immigration on their campaign. Everyone, not one damn elect did a damn thing except for Trump. Exactly. Not a single one wanted to do anything. No, and it's not partisan. It's Republican, Democrat alike. I know, because I remember when Bush basically, was it Bush 2? I think it was the first George Bush. I'm pretty sure it was the first Bush decided to write everyone off and say, well, you're here legally. Just show up at your local immigration office and we'll let you pass back and forth freely. Like, wow, pretty bold way to go. So I did a little bit more research on this one, because, like I said, there's different ideas about how this is working. And this particular one right here shows the state park, and they've got basically that whole area blocked off and cornered off. They've got National Guard there. Of course, all you morons that think that the Hummer is the Humvee, notice there's a big difference in the way that the thing looks. One is a little more squat, bigger tires, blah, blah, blah. Texas Department of Public Safety is closed and taken over Eagle Park. Then Rio Grande, video post in Facebook that Greg, and see, how you can already tell that they seem much more unbiased, because that they just put down Governor Greg Abbott. It's not Republican, it's not Democrat, it's just Governor Greg Abbott. Doesn't matter what, it's nonpartisan. That this is not a decision we agreed to. This is not something we wanted. This is not something we asked for as a city. That Selena said in the video. So that's where NBC or CBS got it. The spokesperson for Abbott said in a statement that Texas is using different tactics to deter people from crossing the border illegally and blame the Biden administration's immigration policies. Oh, that's something NBC didn't talk about. They didn't talk about Abbott's response to this. Texas will continue to deploy National Guard soldiers, DPS troopers, and more barriers, utilizing every tool and strategy to respond to President Biden's ongoing border crisis. He also cited Abbott's emergency declaration, which originally signed in May 2021. The Border Vigil, a group of Eagle Pass residents who have criticized Abbott's immigrants' policies, blasted the state's move. The Texas governor's emergency declaration take over Shelby Park, where the cross memorial stands as a tribute to unnecessary deaths at our border, is a cynical and cruel attempt to divert attention from its own failures and to undermine the efforts of the Mexican authorities and civil society address the humanitarian crisis at the border. Absolutely. No, I agree. The border situation is a little more complex than just letting people in, not letting people in. But I guarantee you mount up some 50 cals and take out the first wave of illegals coming across. The second group doesn't come. They're like, screw that. I'll just keep my ass in Mexico. I don't care where you're coming from. You're just like, yeah, it's not worth it. Do you think barbed wire is going to keep people out? Do you think walls are going to keep people out? No, they'll constantly do it. You know, spending money on an effing building. Go home. Go home now. You're not welcome here. Yeah. Like put it in multiple different languages, like you will be shot if you come across. I guarantee they stop coming. In June, and then I'm not saying that there's always ways to do this legally. There's ways to come into the U.S. legally. Why would we burden our country with people that do not want or support this country? Because they want better living standards while decreasing our living standards as citizens of the United States. I mean, if I go to Mexico and I pull some of the shit that these guys, I'm not saying all immigrants are horrible because I've worked with many immigrants. I've also worked with illegal immigrants before. I'm not saying that they're bad people. I'm saying that you don't need to be here. I've worked with people that had been working on getting their green card for years, and they're more American because of it, because they know what it takes to get here, and they're working their way through the system of doing it. And it's not an easy task. I guarantee you, it's not an easy task. But there's a reason why we got to keep some of these people. Getting you riled up. Did it yesterday and you doing it again today. I don't want to get you riled up, making me sound all sorts of racist, but I'm not a pureblood. No, it's not that you sound all racist. It's just, yeah, my family came here legally too. My grandfather, my grandmother, on my father's side, my great grandfather and my great grandmother on my mother's side, they came here all legally. My grandfather came across through Ellis Isle in what 1901, 1904. So I always forget whether it was one of those two, and he was like 4 years old at the time. He is long since passed, but that's pretty impressive. It's a fucking sham too. The whole green card system is nothing more than a cash grab. Oh, of course. I do everything but kiss on the lips. So no, I haven't kissed a ginger. Jeez, buddy. It's okay. It's okay. The ginger doesn't have to be, opposite sex. You could always, grab up your local ginger baker. I don't know. Is Baker ginger? No, ginger. He's not ginger. Sorry, ladies, disappoint you. He's going to keep your soul at bay. Hey, expert. They did illegal shit after they got here. Yeah, same. My what is it? My wife's one part of her family. They were bootleggers, and the other part was the tax man that was fighting against bootleggers. I have a cool little 32 pistol that was one of her grandparents. Oh, it was bedtime. Don't know how you do it. dude, I got decent amount of sleep last night. I slept like an angel. I wasn't up all night hanging out. I hung out with Jess until about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I crawled my ass into bed and went to sleep. I did turn off the computer, amazing enough, and got some decent sleep. And here it is. It's six in the morning. I'm up. I'm recharged. I'm pouring myself some coffee. Get that coffee, and oh, it's a happy thing. Happy thing. So again, I looked into this Texas Senate bill because I was like, okay, so what exactly does this Texas Senate bill? Because they keep saying that it's this SB 4 that would allow Texas law officials to arrest, jail, and prosecute migrants. That's what they keep saying. This is what they keep saying about this, that it's going to arrest and criminalize being illegal. Well, we already know it's already a crime to jump the border. So I pulled up the actual text to this. Huh. That's amazing that you can find these kinds of things right here. So this act, SB 4, the smuggling of, oh, well, there it is right there, related to the punishment for certain criminal conduct involved in the smuggling of persons or the operation of a stash house, increasing criminal penalties. Oh, what? I thought this was supposed to be for the illegals that were coming across. No, it's going after the people that have stash houses or are smuggling people across. When the accused is found guilty of more than one offense arising out of the same criminal episode prosecuted in a single criminal action, a sentence for each offense of which the accused has been found guilty shall be pronounced, except as otherwise provided by this section. The sentences shall run concurrently. Nice. So the subsection applies only to a single crime action which the accused is found guilty of, an offense under this section, or an offense under this section involving conduct constituting an offense under this section. An offense punishable shall blah blah blah, and we goes on. But what, after reading through this, actor commits the offense in a manner that creates a substantial likelihood that the smuggled individual will suffer serious bodily injury or death. The smuggled individual is a child younger than 18 years of age at the time of the offense. The offense was committed with the intent to obtain a pecuniary benefit. During the commission of the offense, the actor, another party, or to the offense, or the individual assisted, guided, or directed by the actor knowingly possessed a firearm, or actor committed the offense under this subsection, felony of the first degree with a minimum term of imprisonment of 10 years. And this is per person that they smuggle across. We'll be kissing Indian gingers. That's okay. It's okay. Kiss yourself. Yeah, she's not a ginger, guys. I'll make sure all the squirrels have their their shots. It's Kiss a Ginger Day, so don't forget your chapstick. See, everyone wants to get a kiss from you, Farrell. It's your fault. Your fault for being a ginger. She's not a ginger, guys. I'm just giving her a hard time. So it is shown on the trial the offense that the direct result of commission of the offense, the smuggled individual became a victim of SA as defined by the section, or aggravated sexual assault as defined by another section. The smuggled individual suffered serious or bodily harm or death. So this is who it's targeting. Every single thing that I read in here is going after the conduct constituting a manner that creates substantial likelihood the smuggled individual will suffer serious bodily injury, death, or smuggled individual is a child younger. And then this right here. So this is what it's talking about. Felony of the third degree with a minimum term of 5 years, except for that offense is a felony of the second degree with a minimum term of 5 years if it's committed under this subsection, this bullshit right here. All this is saying is it's setting down what the penal code is going to be and what they're going to use to go after this stuff. A habitation or shelter center, a Superfund site, or on a critical infrastructure facility. It's going after the people smuggling them across the border. It's not going after the immigrants at all. It is going after the people bringing them across. It's going after the people that are housing them illegally. That's who it's going after. And it's making it a crime for each individual person. Hey, how you doing? Shushmitha. That's awesome. I like the name. That's pretty cool. Good to see you. Welcome. If you haven't been here before, this is the place to be. This is the place to be early in the morning. A second. Early in the morning, just before the crack of dawn. No, we're not talking dirty here. We're not talking about that crack. The crack of, oh, it's so horrible. Bad at jokes. So if you're thinking that, these fine folks that are over here giving all of this information over here, this little group that's hollering about it, why is this so horrible? The things you need to know. And nowhere in that bill does it talk about going after the immigrants themselves. What it's going after, and very much so, is going after the people smuggling them across, the people housing them on this wonderful country of ours. Should Governor Greg Abbott say, no, we'll just keep continuing shipping these people into other states because there are sanctuary states. They've asked for them. They said, come to us. We're more than happy to have you here, until they start sending them there, because it's all pomp and circumstance. Take them back, 5 years, whenever, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Take it back 8 years when Trump was talking about, we need to stop this crisis at the border. We need to stop having people come across into the United States. This has gotten out of control. And all of these wonderful governors and senators and Republican and Democrat, it wasn't just one side or the other. It was getting political pressure from their constituents that were saying, no, we need to care for these people. They're so mistreated in their country. It's because of all the gang warfare that's going on. We love immigrants. Love the immigrants. They need to come to our country. I mean, Texas is so big. It's so wonderful. Why can't they just be taken care of? We are a sanctuary city. You are more than welcome to come to us. We will house you. We will clothe you. We will take care of you. We've got you covered. And so what did Abbott do? He said, oh, New York, you say that that's absolutely fine? Well, here you go. We will ship 10,000 a day. We will just keep the buses running. We'll just get them moving right up there to you. You're welcome to house every single one of them. You got plenty of empty space with all your normal taxpayers leaving the state, leaving the city. They don't want to be here anymore. They're moving their asses down to Texas and Florida, bringing their horrible ideas. I suggest don't coming to Georgia or Tennessee. That's a really bad idea. Was because in Georgia and Tennessee, we sat out on our front porch with shotguns and banjos and kiss our cousins and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a horrible place. Lots of inbreeding and incestuous sex. It's horrible. You do not want to come south, really. You might want to go down to Florida. That's fine. It's like a limp penis anyway. But yeah, you go to Georgia, it's banjos and cousin sex. So yeah, California, New York City. Yeah, see, don't worry, because here's what will happen. And I joke not about this. What'll happen is these folks they'll go up to they'll get up there to these cities, and they'll find out that everybody seems to be moving out. You've got this wonderful city that used to be this shining thing on the tons of California. Yeah, that's because they like cousin sex. You've seen their videos. I mean, they bring all that information out. They're just like, oh, Sex with your cousin? Yeah, we could get into that. You know, it's like she doesn't have any teeth, so she can't bite. That's what they're into, out in California. Yeah, keep moving to Tennessee. I guarantee you those banjo players are gonna. I can't say about Georgia. Oh, Georgia's gotten more and more like that. Uh, it's gone completely liberal. It's weird, just especially in your cities, because they don't understand what it's like to live in the country. You know, for them, it's like for them living in Atlanta is like living in the country. They're like, man, you guys are Southern hicks. It's just like, wow, you're in Atlanta, you don't know anything about it. Ew, ew. No, I mean, no teeth. She kisses like her mom, or kisses her mom. One of the two. I don't know. She may be her mom. That's I think that's what they've been working on is trying to stop all of that inbreeding that happens. It's okay if your family tree goes straight up. It's without any branches on it. It's you just grab a hold and hold on tight because don't let go. Yeah, be very very careful of the banjo players wearing coveralls, overalls. Driving Fords and Chevys. They're dangerous. You know, they have shotguns on their front stoops, and it's crazy. It's crazy. You got to be careful of these folks. The folks in the South, bunch of dangerous hippies, or not non-hippies. What would you call them? What would be the opposite of non-hip? Oh, they're fascist. Yes, that's what it is. They're fascist, racist, all these horrible things, all the horrible things you can possibly think of. That's what we are in the South. So how are you doing today, Chad? Volstorm? Volstorm could be his own father. That's I know it's hard to comprehend this, but you got to get with the program. He is probably his own father. That's why we like Volstorm, because he's probably his own father. What do we got here? Oh my gosh. Look at that. Expert. Expert was live 10 hours ago. That's right. See, I always get this stuff late. I always get these kinds of notifications late. It's really weird how that happens. But it looks like everybody's talking about Yemen. Wonderful, huh? So, let me see if I can pull this up because it's pretty interesting. Like you knew this was going to happen if you were paying any attention to the press briefings, because sometimes that's what we do. We look at the press briefings and we go, oh, what was the White House talking about just yesterday? Yeah, what have they been talking about over the past week? So we'll present this here so you can sort of get an idea. Is it Vinda? So frustrating. So this was yesterday. Yeah, right there. Share that. Nope. Tab. Jesus Christ, I'm such a boomer on this. So this was from yesterday. We watched part of this. We'll get to the get to where they're at here with this. Inflation has tracked track supply chain pressures closely. Okay, healthcare inflation, whatever. This lady looks horrible, but okay. Don't care. Don't care. Business applications have skyrocketed under President Biden. Well, that doesn't mean shit. Inflation has tracked supply chain pressures closely because it looks like the Fed may cut rates or stop on the spending rates. So that's what they're talking about, inflation. And we're just looking to get to John Kirby because he's the one that's going to be talking about all of the horrible crap So here
Average
we go.
hourly earnings, real wages are up over 1% for all workers, and
I'll
they're
get
up
some
over
also.
3% for moderate income workers. If you look at overall purchasing power, uh, people can buy as much as they could pre-pandemic, and they've got $1,700 extra to spend. So in
Is that true? Do you feel like you're doing better now than you did before? Because if I'm not mistaken, one of the biggest issues people were having was getting toilet paper because there was no production for it. And now, if you're eating fast food and everything that I'm seeing, it's 40 bucks just for a family of two to get some dinner. I mean, me personally, I I don't know because I try to eat out as little as possible. I usually purchase my own stuff. I've seen an increase in what it costs for me to get just regular everyday supplies and more food as compared to uh 19 2019. Like in 2019 I didn't have, it wasn't as much. I know my gas didn't cost as much. um but that was always a floating kind of measure where it's going to be. And then of course when the whole lockdown kind of bullshit happened, or federal started locking everything down and people weren't transporting across the states and moving things around as they should, the big shuffle of transfer of trash from one state to the next. I started, noticing that prices were dropping a little bit, and then they skyrocketed. Of course, the price on gas went way down because they were just trying to get rid of it. Seemed like because prices went down drastically, and then of course we had an election, and all these wonderful people, walk through the Capitol building, and next thing you know, it's the end of the world as you know it, and now we're sending rockets into Yemen. Gotta love it.
fact, the wage gains have outpaced inflation.
And that's not true. Um, that's one of the reasons why I left where I was working. Just if you're a skilled laborer and you make the same amount of money as someone working at McDonald's, there's something wrong with the system. Because for me, if I was a skilled laborer, and I was making much more than that, and that's just because I'd been doing it for quite some time. But if I was a skilled laborer working for $15 an hour, and I found out that the guy working at McDonald's is making that same amount of money, do you think I would stay in the same job position, or I would be going, hey, pay me more money? If they're not going to pay me more money, then what would be the point of me spending hours upon hours struggling to make ends meet? I mean, I would just take my ass over to McDonald's and get a job as a skilled laborer because I'm smarter than more than likely that high school student that is working there, and I can move into a management position and be making even more money than that. I mean, that would be my thought. It's a wonderful idea. And if you don't like that restaurant, well, you just go to another one. You find the restaurant that works for you. And there was there was something I was looking at in one of our counties because they were talking about their budget and what they wanted to have moving forward. They have no industry whatsoever. They have, and I'd have to pull it back up again. They don't have anything except for services for the airport, which it's very unskilled. You don't have to have a high school degree for it. Retail and fast or food services. So those were the three major things that they have in Clayton County. It's it's and they're complaining that their income level is not very high in that state or in that particular county. Makes it really bad for them. So they're wanting to do something to build it up. Well, you can't build it up if you don't have any sort of industry there, when all you have are unskilled workers. Hey, how's it going, Volstone? We were just talking about you and how your own daddy. You are your own daddy. We know why it is because you are in Tennessee. And it's just the inbreeding goes so deep that you are your own father. It's wonderful. Gas controls just about all cost. As gas goes up and stays up, so does the price of all goods and services. If it's transported, if it's local, you don't have to worry about it as much. But yeah, it still will increase the cost of it. Kevin Spacey in American Me don't want the job with the least amount of responsibility. Exactly. Yep, found you out. We knew it. We knew it. It's because you got those pudding pops. That's what it is. Too busy hooking up with yourself. Dirty, dirty. You need your feral voice. Hey, Volstorm. It is good. Actually, I was actually meaning the banjo playing overall wear. Well, I do have overalls. As Diva can attest to, I like showing up in overalls just to watch her like get all flushed. And then of course Volstorm has to, pour water over. Calm down, it's okay. Do you know Volstorm? And this is perfect for you. It is Kiss a Ginger Day. So if you're wondering why there's a bunch of men lined up outside the door, it is they're doing their duty as a man, to make sure they kiss a ginger. So she could make good money off of it. Just a little peck on the cheek right there. That's $25, and you've done your duty as a man. You could really cash in on this. Yeah, don't be hoeing out the wife. It's okay, I understand.
Since pre-pandemic, and of course, employment gains are also meaning
I
more
like these
Americans are
people whenever
getting
they
those
talk
paychecks,
fast.
which is allowing them to continue spending and fueling the really good growth that we've seen.
No, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Subtitles on.
Have you back.
Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, get off the stage.
I have one more guest. So
We have
thank you
one
so
more
much, Leo.
guest.
And also
Kirby.
joining, as you can see, is
Gonna
Admiral
come
Admiral
up
John
here.
Kirby, who's going to give us an update on the Middle East. So, Admiral.
Oh yeah, going to give you update on the Middle East. Is he even going to talk about them firing rockets into Yemen? I wonder. I'm so telling Devon, both of you, bad. You rent her out though? I know. She's wonderful. Hey Moss, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. So good to see you. Welcome. Let me do this real quick. Exit the full screen and pull that down, and then I can full screen it again. Because I'm looking over there. It looks like I've got one person over on Kick hanging out. That's pretty cool. Hey, I finally got it working. Thanks, Jessica Reloaded, for making that happen for me. That's pretty cool. Today sounds like a ginger conspiracy to steal even more souls. I wonder who Dictionary Diva. See, the Diva today you are getting all the hugs and kisses today. How many press secretaries do they have? Well, they only have one press secretary. The rest of these are what is it? Catherine Cat. What, I can't say her name. I just call her Jean-Luc, retard, because that's who she is. John Kirby and Lal Brainard. Yeah. Dictionary Diva. Danielle is giving you a shout there, Diva. So we doing Sunday? I will have to figure this out for Sunday. Hold on. This is what happens early in the morning. I need more coffee is what I need. So here's the thing. I've got a little bit of flooding in my basement, where my office area here. And yeah, I've been trying to keep it as dry in here as possible, and keeping the water off the floor. Go forth into the public and review all the love. See, there you go. So my plan is I'm going to be tearing my office down. So because Tuesday we've got an assessor coming by, and a what do you call it, contractor, to sort of keep the assessor on the up and up with their bullshit. And so I'm going to have to clear out this whole room so they can get into certain spaces in here and sort of assess the damage and figure out where this water is coming from, what needs to happen to get it to get it fixed. And so I'm going to have to clear out my office, and I'm going to try to get it all set up in another space, so that way I can continue to, do streams on Monday, possibly Tuesday, and also get do a stream this weekend with Diva and Fallstorm. Yeah, flooding is the worst. Is he going to be floating on a raft with his laptop? No. I just have to find another place to set up that can be utilized for a couple hours here and there. So that'll figure out later today. This morning I wanted to do I think I'll only do these on the weekend or the weekdays, and I may I'm hoping that I can do these like every day, because this is a good exercise for me to get up. Don't forget my boy Story. Yeah, I know, Boston. I know that I have a Story will be here, also known as Yamaha Biker and Kaiser Pineapple. And, sometimes we get other ladies that like to come in and share their sweet, tender, dulcet vocal chords for us. It's beautiful. And, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We enjoy all these fine folks coming by on Sunday. And we had a good time last Sunday. Diva was out hunting souls, and so she had to replenish her soul, to get just enough souls that she could handle doing, a couple more Sundays. So that's why she was not available, because she was tapped out. She was tapped out of souls, so she needed to get just a few more to survive. And she should be primed up, hopefully this Sunday to, especially because today is Kiss a Ginger Day. Gotta gather just a few extra souls so she can make it through the month. So let's see what Kirby says.
I'll be very quick to this.
So this is before they fire any sort of missiles into Yemen. So pretty interesting stuff here.
Afternoon, I'm sure you've all seen reports about the Iranians' apparent seizure of a merchant vessel called the St. Nicholas Marshall Islands flagged and Greek-owned oil tanker. While it was lawfully navigating waters in the Gulf of Oman, we condemn this apparent seizure. The Iranian government should immediately release the ship and its crew. These provocative and unacceptable actions need to stop. We'll continue to work with our allies and partners to deter and confront the full range of Iran's concerning and destabilizing behavior in close coordination, of course, with the international community. Now, I've gotten a question over the last 2 days, and each time I've gotten a question, my answer was probably as satisfying as a gravy sandwich. So this is about the decision before the Israeli Supreme Court. Obviously, I can't comment about cases before the Israeli Supreme Court, but I can affirm that the United States completely supports the critical work that journalists are doing around the world, and certainly in the conflict in Gaza. And we want to make sure that they're able to do that safely, securely, effectively, and with full transparency. So we discuss a wide range of topics with our Israeli counterparts. I'm not going to get into the specifics of diplomatic conversations, but I can assure you that media freedom is and will always be a part of those discussions. I don't know if that gravy's any more tasty than before, but that's the best I can do today.
Thank you, Kevin. I have 2 questions.
So, just the day before, he was talking about how wonderful, that things have been going with all of the people in the Red Sea, how they were keeping all of this stuff at bay, that the Houthis, needed to watch themselves, and we're monitoring the situation closely, and everything's been a win. We've been doing wonderful. And the next day, they captured a tanker. Yeah, got a little too bold, started talking too much shit, and this is what happens. You get this look of panic on your face. This right here is a look of panic. Like, oh crap. I did notice this the other day, because I was like, oh, something looks odd about this guy. And I figured out what it was, because he has the face for this. I joke not, he has the face for this. What I'll do is just get a little eyedropper of this right here. So he has the absolute face for this right here. Don't you agree? If you look, see, he just has that face for like that little cheesy mustache right there. Don't you think? I mean, look, does that not look like he has the face for it? You can see it now. He like has that upper lip where he has that little like horrible mustache that some guys like to grow. But you know, that's just me. I noticed crap like this. They started bombing the Houthis. Yeah. Houthis, I think, is it Houthis or Houthis? I always forget. It's like Houthis and the blowfish or Houthis and the stankfish, something like that. But yeah, they started bombing them, which a lot of good that does, because if you were paying any attention, I mentioned this the other day, that the Houthis are just a bunch of small little tribes that sort of have these same beliefs. So who are you actually bombing? Because they're not like, it's not like there's this consolidated group, you know, massive army inside of one little area. They're spread out all over the place. So are you just going after specific little tribes or what? I don't understand. But I do think that it's a big red flag.
Today at the hearing of the ICJ, the judge said that under Article 51 of the convention that Israel is a signatory to, Gaza is an occupied territory. Despite the fact that Israel withdrew troops, Israel maintains control over land and sea. And therefore, the protection of civilians in Gaza
Land and seed, and therefore the protection of civilians in Gaza. Okay.
is a legal obligation of Israel. So, number one, do you agree that Israel?
They started bombing the Houthis. What was that? They would need on the ground intel to figure out who to take out exactly, which they may or may not have. Sorry, just finished chores. Well, welcome back, Rabbit. Welcome back. I hope that you're doing wonderful this morning and that the chores have invigorated you. And everybody says, hello, Rabbit. Good morning. Good morning.
Is Gaza is occupied, and second is protection of civilian illegally under the Israeli jurisdiction.
I'm not going to render a legal opinion.
Did she say Israeli Jew detection? I think she just said Israeli Jew detection. I love it. Let's see if they said that.
Protection of civilian illegally under the Israeli jurisdiction.
I'm not
Yep.
going to
That's what she said. She said Jew detection. Wow, Israeli Jew detection. I need to get one of those, a Jew detector.
render a legal opinion from this podium, Nadia. We have said repeatedly that we
Not that I care. I mean, I just want to know.
believe these allegations, this case is unfounded, and that there's no basis for accusations of genocide against Israel. That's not a word that ought to be thrown around lightly, and we certainly don't believe that it applies here. Now, to the question about civilians, again, I'm not an international lawyer. I'm not going to pretend to be, but we have since the beginning talked to our
A jewel-meter. Is it sort of like the gaydar? It's, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm just curious. We can't chat much. Need to warm up. Yeah, warm up, sweetheart. Just get all, because you've got some freaking cold weather coming in there. I think Tennessee's got some coming also.
Israeli
If
counterparts
not,
about the special burdens
no
that
fun.
modern militaries, particularly modern democratic militaries, have when they conduct military operations to protect innocent civilians and to protect civilian infrastructure. Those conversations continue, including on Secretary Blinken's trip.
Okay. Since you're not an international lawyer, I will advise you to read what the judge said, which is Israel is in violation of Article 2A, 2B, 2C, and 2D. He said that the bombing campaign in Gaza is the heaviest in the history of modern warfare, including.
Is that true? Do you think it's the heaviest bombing in modern warfare? Do you think that the bombing is heavier than, say, Nagasaki, Hiroshima? I'm just curious. That's some pretty heavy bombing in a little bitty area in the Gaza Strip. If they're dropping, dropping little boy there, do you think that's because those are some pretty heavy bombs? Speaking of dropping bombs. Good morning, Farrell.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good.
Well, at least I didn't give you this one,
Oh boy.
you're just like
Oh my.
Yeah, a little bit. Good morning, David.
morning,
Hi,
David. Good to
Eris.
see you, Eris. Oh my gosh. We got Moss. Wonder where Greta and her friends are. Shipping companies are starting to sail south of South Africa. Imagine extra CO2 emitted. Greta she should absolutely go there. I know the cat is super cute. I love it.
Did I what a ginger? I don't know any Lisas that are
Feral
gingers.
I think he's trying to say lick. I think.
I think
Oh,
I don't know what he's
no,
trying to say, but no, I will
kiss.
not be kissing any gingers. Thanks.
You won't be kissing any gingers, not even your
No.
children. You won't show your children no love because we know you've got feral redheaded children.
No, I sure don't. I mean, I might kiss Diva. We'll see.
Oh yeah, now I would pay good money to see.
Good morning, Diva.
Morning, Diva. Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, so of course, here they are talking about Gaza, yesterday, knowing full well that within just a short period of time that they were going to be bombing the crap out of Yemen. Crazy, huh? Clip that. You can't. I think I turned off clipping abilities on my channel. Nah. I mean, you can still record it and clip it.
We're gonna have to get a rain check on that Kiss a Ginger Day and tell Dollywood.
Oh, there you go. I kissed a ginger. He was purring and wanting attention. Well, I do that also.
I do have some of those. I have some ginger cats.
Yeah, see, you do have ginger, so you can kiss a ginger today and not lose your soul too much. So how's it going this morning, sweetheart? You
It's
having
good.
a good morning?
It was a busy night last night, so I'm glad it's over.
Why was it a busy night last night? Do tell.
We from recovery from having the power off the night before. Lots to do.
Yeah, I understand. So someone sent a message to me yesterday that said the Zach Anderson has raised over 50,000 just yesterday.
Yes.
I was like, awesome. I love it.
Yeah, they
See,
hit
Chris,
over. They went over. I can't remember what it was. What it ended up being, but they went over the 50,000. So
awesome.
give me 1 second.
That gets them a little bit closer. Gets them a little bit closer to their goal. That's what if you're in support of a legal fund for that, that is absolutely wonderful. Donate what you feel is appropriate or not.
Right. Yes.
I very much 50,260. I'm very much in agreement that he was wrongfully convicted, but also on that same aspect, I try to avoid getting too involved in a lot of those kinds of things, because lawyer, married to kind of stuff, so it can
Right.
be a little more touchy for me. And I've like I said, I show lots of love towards that and would definitely point people to look at that, but I won't be doing like a fundraiser on my channel for
Right.
that kind of stuff. It's just that's not me. I mean,
But you are not. But you also are not afraid to mention it, and that keeps
absolutely.
the conversation going, and that's all anybody needs, really.
I
'Cause-
think that's really the most important thing about it is
Right.
you don't have to you don't have to be funding
Yeah,
this,
exactly.
but help bringing attention to it for other people and let them make up their own mind. I mean, my
Right.
suggestion would be if you're unsure what it is or what's going on with it, do your own research. Like really,
Right. Exactly.
watch the trial and you and watch it. What is it? Just passionately, I guess. I'm not sure what I'm looking for. Impartially, view it
Right.
impartially, and decide for yourself. I mean, that would
Right.
be
And so
what-
many of us did. Like, so
right.
many of us went into that trial because we were excited to see this obsessive ex-boyfriend stuff. Like,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
were
I
so
was
ready for that. And then, my moment was before I even really started watching anybody else, was during the first part of her opening statement for the defense. And I was like, huh? What? This is, and like the whole rest of the time, I'm like, it just got worse and worse and worse for me as the whole thing went on.
I think
So
the moment that really set me off was when, and I was pretty much just sitting there going, oh man, this is not right. But
yeah,
what really set me off was was whenever Gravely basically became a witness in the case
yeah, more than once.
and was not removed from his position.
Yes.
I
Yep.
was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yep.
I think that's what set me off the most, was that right there, was just like, this is in the highest amount absolutely horrible. And
The Denny motion being a thing, for one, for me, I think is
right.
a crock. I think it's unconstitutional and a bunch of BS. But two, for the judge to deny it based on the amount of money. People have killed other people for pocket change.
Yes.
So don't tell me that it is not a motive, because the amount of money he told that the person that the Denny motion is about, because he said the amount and that wasn't enough for you. Just because he tells you an amount doesn't make it fact.
Yeah. I was
So,
I was just it went downhill from there on that case.
mm-hmm,
Just like, and the more that I watched it, I was just like, I can't believe that they're getting away with this.
right. It was ridiculous.
And
And
it was
now
just,
he's retiring and the judge is gone. So I'm hoping maybe
oh,
now that they have,
is Gravel Dick retiring?
yes, at the end, this is at the end of the year, he's done. So
Well, and then he has what, Binger in there?
yeah, that's so much better, right?
Yeah, learn to be a shithead
Their
from a
predecessor
shithead.
wasn't any better, I hear. So
Yeah. And it just makes you wonder what in the hell is going on in in that particular area. Because it seems to me that's a real shithole place to live.
yeah,
Like
right.
seriously, if you have these kinds of, prosecutors going in there, nobody's safe. Like,
Yes.
because it appears to me, all it would take is, if I was a woman, and wanting to like burn my husband to the ground
Mm-hmm.
after a, a divorce, or because, well, he just looked at me the wrong fucking way, is pull some shit like this,
Yep.
you know hey, he's
Yep.
stalking me.
Because they'll use whatever they can to make it look like something that it's not. So
Yep. Yep. Worries me. I'm going to go grab some more coffee. Can you handle it for
okay.
just a couple seconds?
Sure. Thanks,
I will.
Rabbit.
Thanks, Farrell.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, I think it's awesome that they still need more. Obviously, there's lots of other little fees, but they got what they need to get the ball rolling for their end of the month deadline. So that's awesome. She did. She wanted, and she took that opportunity. I can't imagine doing that, because I know that she knows that he had nothing to do with this. She's known him for most of her adult life, so she knows that he didn't do this. And I can't imagine. There goes that darn phone again. Sorry if you can hear that alarm clock going off on a phone that nobody's going to wake up to. Hi, Flatty. I was super late today, too. We had lots to do last night. We had 35 pallets of frozen and dairy last night because we weren't able to work it last night. So we had like 4 truckloads worth of frozen and dairy. So that was fantastic. Yep. And she's ruined her children's lives by doing this to their father. There we go. I found it. I'm hoping I get to bed earlier today, because
You want to get to bed earlier.
well, see,
You
I
know, you
love
can
doing this with you, but it gets me all amped up, and then I stay up too late watching Baker Crime Spies.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I just have to do that to you, get you
Yeah,
all
speaking
worked up.
of, I don't know if you got my message yesterday, but
Yes, I
we need to
did.
have her on one of these days. She loves politics,
Awesome.
loves it, and she has actually started sharing the links for these in her political streams that she does.
Oh,
So
very cool. Very
yeah,
cool.
she's
Yeah.
awesome.
Would love to have her on. I
You
actually
have
was not subbed to her, and I subbed to her
okay.
this morning, and um, so yeah,
Her
definitely.
accent is everything.
Where's she from?
She-
Because I haven't seen any of her stuff. Where's she from?
Minnesota, and she is
Minnesota.
straight out of the movie Fargo.
That's
I
awesome.
love it. I love it.
Well, see, I don't like that accent, but I'm very forgiving on it.
She
I
so
it's
adorable though on her. Like she's so cute.
That's awesome. Yeah, who was I talking with? I think it was T3, and she didn't realize. Yeah, I don't like the whole New York accent. It just it's a big turnoff for me. But that's not that I'm just like
Mhm.
I just it just doesn't do anything for me. I like
If I
that.
I'm gonna
I'm
start
trying
picking it up more and more. The more I listen to her and talk with her, I'm gonna start picking it back up. Like I do that really. I have the weirdest accent now because I have all this North Dakota.
North Dakota,
But yeah, but now I'm in
Dakota. I
Ohio,
don't
so
know
I
what you
get all this stuff. So when I go up there, they're like, "Oh, your accent," and I'm down here and people all the time, like when I say about and stuff like that.
boot. I'm a boot something. Yeah, you see, it's really weird because if I'm around someone for a period of time, I start picking up that accent also.
Yep,
It's so messed up. I'm like, damn it, I don't like it on me.
I do it really, really easily. Like,
Yeah, it's because I'm parsing out the words in my head, and I'm trying to figure out what that person might be saying. So
um,
it's so strange.
yeah, it's Crime Spies,
Yeah,
Chris.
Crime Spies. Yeah, here, let me see if I can
So
find it. Did I make you a mod on my channel? I thought I did.
sure, I'm yes, I'm a mod on your channel.
Okay, yeah, you can always throw the link up there. That's fine.
Yeah, I can grab it.
Yeah, she's uh, you know, she's doing her thing.
Yes,
I
she does. She just did Zach's trial, actually. She just streamed it, did a restream of it, because she had never seen it.
oh yeah,
So
okay.
it was oops, wrong button. So she
So
did
she
that.
actually did a stream about or did a rewatch on it.
Yes, she did a rewatch, and then she also does a lot of watching congressional hearings and things like that. So she does
Yeah,
she's very into politics.
and Rabbit was waiting to see the evidence that never occurred. Exactly. I mean, it was the beat to death with a baseball bat or a hammer or a shot, or I couldn't figure out what the cause of death was. And then the fact that there was no body, I'm like, okay, this is weird. And it's like, okay, so he was put in the back of this van with no blood. I mean, I've worked on like, you know, odysseys for freaking ever. And I mean, you spill a cup of water and it soaks through the carpet. You
Right.
know, it's just like I'm just imagining how many liters of blood is in a body, and the fact that none of it was found anywhere. It's just like, wait a second. Like I've pulled like from somebody spilling a coffee, like have with sugar or whatever, and I mean, it's if it's on that anywhere on there, you're going to find it. I mean, because it finds like holes. There's holes in your
Right.
metal
Right.
sheeting.
There's no way, well, for one, there's no way he cleaned that van because it was filthy, but you're
Yeah,
never gonna get it all out of all of the brackets and hardware that were
no,
there's just no way.
I know because
So
I've got a picture of me with a wiring harness wrapped around me after pulling it out of a 2019 Odyssey. Like
mhm.
this whole wiring harness that comes out. I mean, I've been down and pulled all that stuff out. Even on a brand new car, you find like little pockets of whatever. It's like, damn it.
Are the
Like,
Odysseys the ones that have that little jump seat? I think they are. I think
yeah,
when
yeah,
I got hit
yeah.
I got hit by a deer and totaled
Oof,
my car. So the
jeez.
rental that they gave me was an Odyssey, and I love that thing.
Yeah, Odyssey's the what was it? The 2018, 2019 Odyssey had some issues. I don't know if they ever figured it out because I left in what the 2020, yeah, was it 2019? Whatever. The year
Yeah.
that everyone did all the lockdowns. That March like was my first day working for my wife. I left that February.
Okay.
So I think that was 2020. Yeah, so the 2019 um, had an issue with something to do in the electronics, like replacing the wiring harness seemed to take care of it. I don't know if it was a short somewhere, but what would happen is you'd be driving along and all of a sudden, like your whole stereo system would shut off, like
Oh,
just
okay.
boom, go away. And on those, the navigation system was in the stereo system
Right.
and it would just randomly shut off. And then people's batteries were getting, you left your wife during, no.
What?
Left your wife during the zombie apocalypse. It's hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
okay.
trying to imply it was on the carpet that was removed also. Yeah, all of that
But
is
you're
just
gonna get it in all those brackets. There's just no way
exactly.
with the amount that was in that apartment, which
Yeah,
still wasn't
because
like they claimed it was gonna be when they were talking about it, but
exactly. Well, and here's the thing. All those wiring harnesses are held down with clips, and those little clips go into push holes. All those little
right.
push holes, you would find something inside there. I
Yep.
mean, the fact that they found nothing anywhere except a little spot of something that they couldn't even
Which was
verify if it was blood.
probably what is it? Which I think they talked about it on the Wrongful podcast that they assume that it's something for the chainsaw, like some kind of oil or something for it. It's
Oh,
red.
bar oil?
Yeah, the bar
Oh,
oil is probably what
bar
those
bar
spots
oil
were.
is bar oil
What
is not red.
what is the red
Transmission
one?
transmission fluid would be red.
They were
Oh,
talking about
you're talking about
there's
two-cycle
something
engine oil. Two-cycle engine oil
me,
might be red, but that depends. Some of it might be red, some of it might be blue. It just depends
but
on the
but
brand.
all that spot matched all the other spots that all tested negative for human blood.
Yeah.
So, and
It's
when they
just
sprayed it with the luminol stuff, nothing lit up at all in there.
well, and also you spray it yeah, that's the other thing. It's like and luminol would have destroyed any sort of DNA evidence. I went over this with bakers, which I can't remember where I learned that from, but it was just because the chemicals in it sort of break it down, so it's you can't distinguish the DNA out of that.
Right.
And I mean, it's just stupid crazy.
Yep.
I was like I said, that whole case was frustrating and a lot of stuff that the defense couldn't even use. It's just
Yeah.
like, come on, you've got to be kidding me. But again, congratulations on them being able to get up to 50, and I hope they continue
Yes.
building that fund to get be able to get this thing handled.
Yeah.
And it's a long
I'm
it's a
I'm so
long
glad they
climb.
got Wisco. Natalie's amazing. Like, I almost wish she would have been his attorney for the case. Well, I do wish she
Yeah,
would because they her Gravely and Schroeder treated Nicole like a second class lawyer.
yeah,
And she's a very good lawyer, but I don't think she knew how to handle them treating her the way that they did treat her. And there's no way Natalie's going to take that kind of crap from those men.
yeah.
So,
I would hope not. I mean,
yeah,
I would hope not.
she's
I
been
mean,
around long enough that I
rather
mean,
than
she deals
fighting.
with people like David, so she's got this.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, here's the thing, that was information that they couldn't put in. Yeah, that if you're not allowed to give all of the information or the whole story,
Right.
how correct can that be? And I'm not saying you have to go down every single rabbit hole to point out every single thing, but whenever you can't even mount a proper defense because you're just kneecapped at it, that annoyed me also.
And they did that. He did that so many times to them.
Asked about the bleach smell in the van, only to be told by the witness there was no bleach smell. He clearly did it to get inside the jury's head. Exactly. He's
I'm
doing
wondering,
everything that he can to win. Everything that he can. He will lie, cheat, steal. He will do everything within the legal bounds to, I didn't quite lie. I just didn't tell the whole story. He'll do everything that he can to win his case, because that's what it is for him. It's a win.
Well, that's what he wanted. He wanted a no body conviction, and he was going to get it no matter what he had to do.
Exactly.
And he did.
And I'm not saying that if you don't have a body that, you can't prove that it happened, but there was
Right.
there was no proof. I mean, give me.
Well, they didn't even have
anything, one
anybody
thing.
say that
One
there
little
was
thing.
enough blood in that apartment to assume death.
Yeah.
Like they should have had to have somebody come in. There's no proof that the man is deceased.
Exactly. I mean, what I would be wanting to do, and this is just me personally, what I would sort of be asking for is if there was someone that was a private investigator that could track his movement and figure out where he's at.
Well, I mean,
that would
more than
be
likely,
my thing. Like find the body. I would be surprised if you find the body turning up somewhere in Mexico.
it's probably in that landfill in Illinois, but because they never checked it. So that's probably where his body is. I mean, in
I
all
don't know.
likelihood.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying is maybe dude got the crap beat out of him and decided to hightail it out of there. I don't know. Nobody knows. Maybe
Well,
he was
unless he went
pieces.
into hiding because there was obviously a fight, like Mass said.
Right. Strong circumstantial evidence that he is deceased, but there's clearly had been a fight. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Gravelly implied he cleaned the van with bleach. Luminol would have lit it up. Yeah, it's insane. Oh, we'll go back to the Yemen stuff. Talk about something that's not so depressing.
What the Russians do in Ukraine. So he asked the Israelis to suspend immediately the military operations in Gaza. The White House position is no ceasefire. So is the Biden administration in violation of international law?
No.
And the call to suspend military
Yeah.
No. The judge statement notwithstanding, the answer is absolutely no. Israel has a right and responsibility to defend itself. We're going to continue to make sure that they can do that. We're going to continue to supply them with the tools and capabilities they need to do that. No country should have to live to that kind of threat next door. So no, we are not in violation, and we're going to continue to make sure Israel has what it needs. I'll add one more point. We're going to also continue to make sure that humanitarian assistance can get to the people of Gaza, that Israel conducts its operations in the most precise, careful, deliberate way possible, so that they can minimize civilian casualties.
Exactly.
If the
There you
final
go.
ruling is actually the
I'm not going
violation.
to get into hypotheticals from here. We have made our position clear.
And I'm with Kirby on this. It's like, yeah, we're going to support doing what we can to make sure that that people are able to defend themselves and they have support. I mean, whether you agree with it or not, I mean, you should be able to do what you can, especially if you're dealing with an ally, because there's some countries that were out of how hypothetical she wants to go. Oh, you want you're getting a kick out of this girl right here.
Yeah, the speed ASL.
Which, what's really funny is she's got these massive mitts and like a little bitty head, and then whenever she brings her face forward, it's opposite. It's so hilarious.
That guy from the other day, he was the best, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. He had the speed demon hands.
Zoom.
I want to follow up on the ICJ proceedings. Obviously, make the position of the U.S. clear, but will the U.S. accept the court's decisions or penalties if Israel is found by the court to have committed genocide?
Again, I'm not going to get ahead of where we are in the process.
Can Israel?
Wow. Just like, yeah, we're not getting ahead of the process. It's stupid. If Rosalio had somebody helping him, he might be able to hide in Mexico or a cabin somewhere. That's sort of my thing. It was like, give me something, anything, a fingertip. I don't know, anything.
Well, you have a hard time convincing me that his friend didn't take care of him. So,
or some sort of cartel.
Well, I think there's a lot of stuff pointing at.
I mean, that Kenosha cartel is pretty deep.
I can come up with a better story for an opening statement against the friend than Gravely did against Zach. So
yeah, but Zach was the easy one to go after.
account on the U.S. and block any potential sanctions that are levied by the court? Should it come to that?
I'm just not going to hypothesize or get ahead of the process here. We've made clear our view on this particular case, and we've made clear our view on supporting Israel as they defend themselves.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that the U.S. is prepared to take action against Houthi attacks in the Red Sea. He seemed to make forceful comments about it. Just how far is the U.S. willing to go?
We talked about this yesterday. I'm not going to telegraph punches one way or another here. We're going to do what we have to do to counter and defeat these threats that the Houthis keep throwing up on commercial shipping in the Red Sea. We'll continue to consult with allies and partners about the appropriate next steps, but that's as far as I'll go.
What's the U.S.
So at this point, he already knows what's about to happen. That they're about to start firing rockets into Yemen. You heard about that, right, Farrell?
No.
Yeah, we've been, what is it? Probably about later on that day. No, it was last night. Yeah, they started firing rockets into Yemen. I think it was
lovely.
during our stream last night. So sometime around 7:00 at night, they had been firing them in there for about 30 minutes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So they knew this was going to happen. And of
Right.
course he's being, and this is, I think this was sort of the build up to it to make the American peoples or be like, yeah, it's okay. Because the Houthis they're attacking shipping lines, and we've been keeping them at bay, and this is what they kept bragging about. Oh, we're doing so much, and the military is doing wonderful things. And then this day they took a ship. They took a ship. The Houthis did. They captured it. So clearly their presence wasn't enough to deter the Houthis. So he had to make it where now it's fine. We're just going to fire some rockets in here and
Mess. I love the closed captioning.
the auto translation wrote it as hotties. Those damn cheerleading, destroying shipping. I know, and there probably were redheads too. Just so you know, redheaded cheerleaders out there, causing havoc. Like this girl, she makes the most disturbing faces whenever she's signing.
reaction to recent comments from the Houthi leader that any American attack will not go without a response and that the response would be bigger than the recent strike?
Again, I'm not going to speculate about potential future military operations one way or another.
She looks like a redhead, doesn't she?
Listen, y'all and your redheads. Jeez.
She's trying to get a soul.
Yeah, Clumsy. I like to listen to Clumsy when I'm working towards the end of the night, and she did a read for me, and it was, she asked her cards what my crush admires about me or something, and then told me my red hair. And I'm like, I don't have red hair. She's like, I thought you did. I'm like, quit listening to expert. He's seen me like 500 times on webcam. I don't have red hair.
I'm only a fake redhead. No, that's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with being a fake redhead, Chris. Rabbit's a redhead. Yeah. See,
Awesome.
guys, show some love to Rabbit.
I think when I go to Dollywood, I'm just gonna fire engine red hair dye.
Oh, or just wear a wig. That way you don't even have to dye.
I'll dye it. I don't care. I'll dye it.
I'll dye it. I don't care. Screw you guys.
I'm gonna get an FNL tramp stamp. What do I care about my hair?
I'm just but you're not gonna have Valhalla do it. That's so disappointing. I'm just picturing Farrell with Valhalla sitting there doing.
Oh, listen, no, there will be no Valhalla tattoo guns going on Farrell. I will not be his practice piece.
Oh, come on.
As we have said repeatedly, the Houthis need to stop these attacks, and that they will bear the consequences for any failure to do so.
And you talked about the U.S. Having discussions with the Israelis to lower the intensity of fighting. When are we going to see that happen?
You'll have to talk to the Israeli Defense Forces about their operations. I'm not going to lay out their timetable or their schedule of events. They have talked about the fact that they...
Yeah, see, I was a redhead, but nature made me a platinum blonde.
Awesome.
Yeah, my grandmother was a redhead, as was my mother. My mother was more of the auburn, but my my grandmother. Yeah, she was ginger to the max. I mean, she was like pale, white, red, that bright red hair.
Mhm.
Like, and then of course, whenever you're hitting your like 70s, that stuff sort of goes away.
My niece, I grew up with my nieces and nephews, and my sister's quite a bit older than me.
Mhm.
And my one niece is red, just red hair, but the rest of them had like dirty blonde hair like I did. So
Mhm.
anytime we went anywhere, I was always with them, and everybody always thought that she was the adopted little sister and that I was the daughter.
Yeah, we had it was it's and my older sister had red hair. My older brother had red hair. Rabbit's hair was more auburn. Yeah, that's how my mother's was. It was more of the auburn, like that deep dark red. Like if you
Yeah.
got it in the light, just a few minutes out in the sun, it would start lightening. you know.
Oh, yeah. My nieces is red.
Yeah, my sister, I think it's gone more gray. My little sister, she had more of like the dirty brown, like the color mine was. More like what this girl has here. She's got more of the dirty brown that looks like it could be red, like there's little
Yeah.
tinges in there, but it's not. It just looks like it. In certain light, you might catch little bits of reddish in it.
Right.
They didn't test the blood of the unit to see if they could find anyone else's blood. Yeah, that's right. They didn't test the blood in the unit to see if they could find anyone else's blood but RG's.
Well,
They
they
never
never
checked the fingerprints or
actually matched it for him. Like they could have done, oh, we couldn't find his dad. Well, you didn't look then because I found his dad in about 30 minutes. So,
oh, really?
yeah.
Amazing how that works. Well, yeah. That's there's there we couldn't find his dad. Well, do you expect the state to go looking for it? Because then
Yeah,
their theory
no,
gets blown out of the water, you know.
exactly.
You can make a pretty good ginger Klingon with the hairline that's far back on her face. It's not that far back. It's not that he has a 4 head. It might be a 5 or a 7 head. It's not quite the 10 head. I think she's got at least 5 or 6 there. But it's okay. She keeps her head nice and shiny.
She
They
does.
recognize a need to transition to a new phase.
And I'll just say that, sometimes bald chicks can look pretty hot. Look at Sinead O'Connor. Didn't Sinead O'Connor just die recently?
I have no idea.
I think that's right. I think she
This is the
died.
most news I get is this. So,
Really? Yeah. So
The military operation. We have
let's see if there's
encouraged that kind of
anything
thinking
more
and that kind of planning,
interesting.
and we'll see what they end up doing. But it's really for them to speak to.
Thank you so much, Corinne. John, Senate
Yeah. So
And react
they
to it. I
bombed
would
the
also note that the
Houthis,
report
shot
made
rockets
clear
in
that
there.
DoD has made some improvements, including things like handheld scanners, and tried to boost a little bit of the footprint there at the embassy to try to help with better tracking of material. The report also noted, which I think is not two insignificant things that it noted. One, that there's no evidence. The report noted there's no evidence of any sort of wide-scale diversion or illicit diversion of any of the material that's been going on to Ukraine. And two, that it is a wartime environment, and there are real limits to our ability to count every bean, every bullet, every artillery shell. We have a
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. And that's just like saying, yeah, we don't know how many tanks we sent there. We don't know how many bullets we sent there. We can't really count every single bullet. Bullshit.
well, you know
Because,
what went in.
yeah, this is bullshit. What are you saying? You can't count every bean, every bullet? No, you can, because how many rounds did you
Right.
send?
Do you not
Those
do
round,
inventory?
those rounds show up in these big metal containers. Those big metal containers carry 1,000 rounds. How many of those big metal containers did you send? You can come pretty damn
Right.
fucking close.
Right. You're not going to ever get an exact number, but
No, you're going to get pretty fucking exact. I guarantee you. I used to handle this kind of shit in the military. You know
yeah.
exactly how many fucking batteries that you have for each one of your trucks. You know how many oil filters you have. You know how many air filters you have. You know how many tires you have. You know how many rings that you have. You know every single thing that you have in your inventory.
Right.
Because as it goes out, you have to sign off on it in triplicate. You know everything that's there.
Yeah.
Everything. Now you may not know exactly how many gallons of fuel you have down to the exact drop, but you're going to
Right.
have a pretty good rough estimate how much fuel you're going to have. Oh my
Right.
Jesus Christ. Our military not normally anal about counting bullets. Yes, they are. Damn right. I mean, you go on a firing range whenever, during basic training, they know exactly how many fucking bullets there are because they don't want some dude walking off the range with a round, getting it back to his barracks and doing something horrible, thinking that he's being a smartass. Yeah. Jesus Christ. We don't count every bean, every artillery shell. Hell yeah, you do. All of that stuff is inventory because you have to know the price of every single thing.
Right.
Like it would not, whenever, because see, I was a mechanic in the military. You would show up, you would have a toolbox assigned to you. And in that toolbox, you had to account for every single wrench, socket, hammer, everything.
Yep.
You had to account for every single piece of it. If you got something out, a specialty tool like a torque wrench, because you had these huge breaker bars that you had to use to break the struts loose on the Humvees.
Yeah.
They don't carry 200 or 300 of those things. So you would basically have maybe 10 there that were assigned to you. You would sign it out, and whenever you brought it back, if you didn't bring it back, they'd come looking for you, and you had to sign it back in.
Mhm.
Every time. It's a pain in the ass. I put guys and brig for it. Yeah, exactly. Every single shell, every single bullet is accounted for. And then him telling that shit, he's full of it. He's full of garbage. But let's see, we're going to get to Jean-Luc retard here pretty soon. She's going to have something to say, I'm sure. Where is she?
She'll have some words anyway.
Yeah, some words, probably some BS about.
We're not going to get into that.
Yeah, move on to national security supplement request, and we
More
get
funding.
get funding.
The assistance that we provided has now ground to a halt. The attacks that the Russians are conducting are only increasing. And now, as I talked about earlier this week, they're using North Korean ballistic missiles to do their dirty work. So,
yeah, you keep pushing this narrative, and we don't fucking believe you. You've just you're saying that Russia has no capabilities. Then that's what he's saying. Oh, they're using North Korean missiles. Why? Why would they use North Korean missiles?
Why are they going to pay for it when they have the capability to do it themselves?
Pay for it, ship it, all that kind of stuff. No, we can just have our manufacturing crank out a couple of these things a day.
Yeah.
and we can actually read what they say.
the need is acute right now, particularly in these winter months.
It's not cute.
All right. I do want.
Yeah, so those are the hostages that were captured by the Houthis.
I do want to say one thing to Courtney's question about federal judges under threat and any violence. Look, this is a president that's been very clear. This administration has been very clear. We condemn any form of threats or violence against any judges, against any group, against anyone. And so I just want to make that.
No, you don't. Only against certain ones.
Yeah, I was going to say anyone.
Be very clear there, Jean-Luc. It's because you've clearly made threats against, let's see, Clarence Thomas, Gorsuch, Supreme Court justices. There's been threats against multiple ones, and you didn't seem to take it too seriously whenever there was a judge that was threatened because of a certain what was it? Something about. I'm trying to think here. I think it had something to do about like deleting babies in the womb. That judge had protesters out there, and you didn't seem to do a single fucking thing.
They encouraged it.
Yeah. So what she just said is bullshit right there.
Yeah.
that clear. That is something that we're going to be certainly steadfast on continuing to say and be very clear about.
Yeah,
that.
you continue to say, but not.
Two topics, if I may.
not
There
follow
are
up.
reports that Speaker Johnson might renege on the top line spending deal that he's reached with Senator Schumer. And now the Speaker has come out and said that he's made no commitments to doing so. He's just talking with members of his conference right now. But what is the White House's message to House Republicans who want to not abide by that deal between Johnson and Schumer?
So just a couple of things to say on that. Like House Republicans, as we know, voted for an agreement back in May. That is what we know. That is a fact. Speaker Johnson reaffirmed it on Sunday. He did it himself, his own words. And so we have an agreement. Republicans need to keep their word and stop playing or any games here. We cannot have a shutdown. The American people do not deserve a shutdown.
No, we should shut it down. Shut it all the fuck down. Every single bit of it. Serious.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Shut it down, and as soon as you shut it down, your payment stops. You stop receiving a paycheck.
Oh, that's not ever gonna happen.
Serious. That I think they should shut all of that stuff down. Just shut it down. You don't receive a paycheck until you can get your head out of your ass and work for the American people. You're basically a bunch of I have lots of words to say about this, but that I have to very much so cage my words, because a government shutdown would be so beautiful. You stop receiving a paycheck and shut it down until you can come back and make something good for the American people. Give them what they're actually asking for.
That's the first thing that they do, though, is make sure they're still gonna get paid.
Oh, hell yeah. They did that, what, 2020, like I think around March of 2020 when they started shutting things down.
Right.
Did they stop getting paid?
No, never.
But the hourly employees, they stopped getting paid. It's just like, if you don't show up to work, you don't get paid. Isn't that how it works? I mean, if you're spending
Not
the
if
day
you're
at
the ones making the rules.
if you're spending the day at the golf course, you should not be getting paid. Just
Yeah.
saying.
But if you're the one making the rules, and
rules for me, but not for thee.
For
That's how it
sure.
works. The American people do deserve a shutdown. I think American people deserve it more now than ever. Shut it down, close it up, send the people home,
yeah,
empty out the buildings. Maybe you can house some immigrants there. I think there's plenty of space on Lincoln Memorial. I've been to Lincoln Memorial. That's a pretty big space. Throw up some tents. Got plenty of space to throw some of your illegal immigrants. Just have them all bust there. You can have a big rally. You can have REM come out and perform for them, and give them some shiny happy people music. I think that would be wonderful. And you've got like a captivated crowd or a captive crowd, one of the two. And you've got plenty of barbed wire around the White House, so you'll be safe there. Or you could just open up the White House and let them spend the weekend.
yeah.
I mean, why not?
It's like
Come
a
on, it's Washington
B&B.
D.C. It's Washington D.C. I mean, it would just. You really don't need your office. Let Jose have it. Let Jose have your office. I'm serious. I mean, Nancy isn't using her office anymore.
What was it? Martha's Vineyard that they sent him to that
Oh
summer?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
they
was
flipped out.
glorious.
They
They
flipped out.
were gone within hours.
Yeah. But why is Texas doing this horrible thing to us? Well,
Yeah. Oh,
you
excuse
asked
me?
for 'em. You said
It's
wanted
okay
to
for
take
them
care
to be
of it.
there. You want them all to be there. What? Now it's your turn.
Yeah, here you go. I guess it's
Yeah.
all you only want them there to like pick up your dog poop and blow
Yeah.
off your lawn. I guess
Yeah.
that's what you really want them there for. I mean, come on, let's face it. There's not too many lawns in Texas. So, just saying, you get
Yeah.
a good portion of desert. There's not too many lawns.
And that is their basic duty. To
Trimming
keep the government open. We've
cactuses.
been pretty consistent about this. Yeah, there was an agreement. House Republicans agreed on in May, and the Speaker Johnson reaffirmed it on Sunday.
That doesn't mean shit. He's just the Speaker of the
President
House.
Biden has had 3 of his judicial nominees withdrawn from consideration. So can you discuss what's happening with that? Are there vetting issues on the White House end?
He's had 3 nominations that they said nope. You know why? Because they sucked. All right, Rabbit, you take care of yourself, girl. You take care of
Bye,
yourself.
Rabbit.
Be safe. Be safe. We'll see you later today. We'll be around and
Right?
about.
We're happy to be everywhere today.
She'll be bouncing around like the iron rabbit she is.
It seem to be blue slip issues here. So are you facing more resistance from members of your own party on nominees, or do these nominees not want to go through the confirmation process?
So look, I'm assuming it's a case-by-case situation. Every person has probably their own reason to not move forward on their particular specific respective nomination. So I can't speak
Particular
broad
specific
stroke,
respective
obviously.
nomination.
But look, the president takes all these nominations very seriously. He always wants to put forth, and he has put forth a very credible, qualified folks, especially in these
Credible,
obviously these positions,
qualified
where they are,
folks,
right? I don't
especially
want
in
to speak about it
obviously
broad stroke, and I don't
positions.
know each case.
Just like
so I just want to be super
word
mindful.
salad.
People may have
Come
their own
on,
reasons,
Jean-Luc Retard.
step down
That's
from
all
this
she
nomination.
does is a word salad.
Concerned that the pace of confirmation appears to be slowing, especially after the two sort of rapid pace years that you had for the first 2 years.
Well, you said something that's really important that I want to make sure the American people know. There's been a rapid pace. We've had historic movement on our nominations, so we appreciate that. We appreciate certainly the Senate for moving in that rapid pace. Obviously, we want to get these nominations done. It is a priority. It is important to get these folks into their position. I just don't have anything to share beyond that. I don't want.
Do you know why it's so important to get these nominations into their positions? Because they know that they're going to lose. In 2024, they know they're going to lose. And they're trying to get as many stacked in there that they possibly can, but some of them aren't passing the sniff test. Like they've got some, the word salad, not all white. It's word salad, not all. No, it's not. Some of them are actually pretty good at what they do. Even
in recent history.
Well, even the ginger that was in there. I mean, she had a lot of word salad, but she was pretty good.
We're gonna circle back.
Sort of she was really good at deflecting. Much more
back
so.
To that.
Yeah. Well, no, she did do the word salad, but she was also very good at deflecting.
They all remind me of Baker's defendant, that Bradley Yawn. Is that the one?
Oh yeah.
Just all the words. Just all the words.
Yeah. Maybe not word salad, but she didn't say yes. That's what I'm talking about. It wasn't that it was word salad. She was just good at avoiding answering the question.
Yes.
Yeah. This is exhibit 100.
100% correct.
100. Are we up to 100? Yes, because 100% correct.
I need to go. Did you watch any of Baker's trial yesterday?
I have not. I did watch the beginning part of it. I don't know how bad it got because I was
that defendant, like as far as pro se defendants go, like Baker's kind of disappointed because he's not super crazy. So
no,
he's doing decent. I need to go back and watch I left and went to bed during this person on the stand that looks to be a wild one. I need to go back and watch it because I'm sure there's clippable stuff in that.
I'm sure there is. Phil Hammer audio love. Yeah, it happens. No, I was a little bit impressed with how the guy was doing, just even in his opening statement. He was pretty short and to the point. I was like,
yes.
This guy,
and he was bringing up points too.
Exactly.
Like he was actually bringing up points that should be looked at and stuff.
Well,
so he did.
I thought he did excellent. His defender left him. Just was like, no, I'm not defending this guy. More than likely because they wanted to work out a plea deal, and he was like, but I didn't do this, and I'm not taking any sort of plea deal, but I didn't do this. And everyone, even MLS, I think, was saying that all he has to do, and Baker said this also, all he has to do is if he would take their plea deal, he gets 2 years time served, and he's just labeled as a felon.
But if you didn't do it,
why would you do that?
Right.
It's like, you would take that every single day. And that's also a lawyer thinking for you there.
I don't know that I would not do it without an attorney, but I would have a hard time. I would have a hard time admitting to unaliving someone, even
that I didn't do.
Even in the commission of a felony, like, okay, the word is not in my brain right now, but
right. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. If I didn't
Well,
do it,
and
I'm
he's
not.
right. The surviving victim apparently said that he wasn't even there. So if that is going to be her testimony, well,
Right.
yeah, felony
It's
murder.
so
There you go.
crazy.
Thanks, Mass.
Yeah. Felony murder. Thank you. Yeah.
Hopefully
It's
it'll be better today.
yeah.
Yes,
I couldn't do it.
the first day is always pretty bad for the audio.
Yeah. I couldn't do it. Well, their audio was fine to start out with. And
Yeah.
then they had a quick,
Yeah, after the sidebar, it was crap.
yeah, it just decreased like to nothing. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Hi from
Hey, Jude.
good to see you, Jude.
I mean, hi,
Of
Thunder
course.
Snow.
But every time I post it makes it mine. Thanks for helping me. All I know is music law, and that was 20 years ago. Shit changes. Yeah. Yeah. I had a friend of mine out in California. She was getting she was becoming a certified CPA. That's what she was getting certified as that, because what she wanted to do was represent musicians, especially musicians that were just starting out, to make sure that they did their funding right, so they could survive a record deal, and make sure that they were taken care of, and sort of hooking up with attorneys and that sort, to like be able to sort of promote her business, but also to push them towards like good music attorneys, people that
Cool.
handle, that kind of stuff. Cause she felt that musicians were getting pretty screwed in their respective fields, like losing like millions of dollars, just,
Right.
because they signed a poor record deal, and then they didn't have any way of setting aside money for a rainy day. Because
Yeah.
it's amazing whenever you're a musician and you get a record deal, it's like millions of dollars sometimes, but it's money that you have to pay back. When all is
Yeah.
said and done, you got four music. Say you just have a 3-piece band, for example, and you signed $1 million record deal. Well, that $1 million record deal might be having you're paying for all of your distribution. You're paying whoever the record company decides. You're paying your engineer. You're paying for your marketing. You're paying for your just getting the tour started. So you're paying a lot of money out of pocket, and at the end of the tour, you're just like, what, you mean I have no money? Like, so
Right.
that's what they wanted to do. Yeah. Put you poorer into the poorer house. Yeah. 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 Hell knows what I'm talking about. These musicians will get screwed over. And that's what she wanted to go up against. So, I think that's pretty honorable, people that, go into music, helping out musicians whenever they're getting started, not necessarily, getting them the best deal, but getting them the best deal that they can.
Better deal than, yeah.
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy, and yeah, you see that $1 million contract coming. You're just like, holy crap. This is, it's like giving a 5-year-old a $5 bill, They're just like, oh my gosh, all the 1 cent candy I can buy. I know it's not 1 cent anymore, but that's a lot of money. It's like, for them, that's like, wow, that's like winning the lottery. But anyhow, yeah, let's see what
Want to get into,
Jean-Luc
into
Retard has
specifics
to
as to
say.
why folks may have stepped down or not part of the nomination process anymore. Just want to be super mindful. Cancel.
Senator Schumer said it's crystal clear that a CR is needed to keep the government open. You had said yesterday that kicking the can down the road is not the way Congress should be operating, but is the president prepared to sign a CR?
I'm not going to get ahead. These are there's conversations happening. Obviously, I don't want to
Conversations happening.
It is important to keep the government open.
Other possible witnesses like
Yeah.
families of
Instead of playing these political games, having these political stunts, it is really shameful and it's unfortunate.
Really, we agree. You should stop.
To Pennsylvania Valley Forge, where he gave a really impactful, important remarks on our democracy.
Really impactful, important remarks on our democracy. See, they still don't get it. We're not a democracy. Oh, you helped the bluesmen in Chicago who couldn't sign their name and got paid in women and drugs and never had contracts. I got them 2 for 2 up front, etc. And X is not enough. Made a difference. Absolutely. Yeah, there's a guy here in in Georgia, named Danny, Danny Mudcat Dudek, also known as Mudcat. Just, Polish guy that plays really good blues music, and he started getting together with a lot of the older blues musicians, especially in the Black community, and really promoting them up and working out deals to get them paid. Performers have been doing it for years that had no recognition. But he worked really closely with like getting these folks out there and doing like benefits to like get more attention focused on them.
Yeah.
And all the money went to supporting them in their elder years. I mean, these were folks that were in their 70s, 80s, and just not receiving any recognition. Had been signed up, recorded, and did a lot for them. Also getting them good representation and things like that. So yeah, kudos to Danny. He's good people. He also helped out with local blues bar that he used to play at all the time. And he went in there because the lady that owned it inherited it from her father. I think it was her father, and her father died. It was sort of owed a lot of money, and he helped build the business back up, and got them like stabilized where they were actually making money. Help get the roof repaired, increase like the footprint of the building. Got some things fixed, would do benefits for that to get it up, do some open mics and stuff like that to get people more drawn in, because she was about ready to sell the place, and now it's like pretty thriving. It's still just a total dive bar, but it's awesome. I like seeing that. Like good stuff.
Protecting our democracy ahead of on the eve ahead of January 6th. What we saw in 2011 on January 6th was an attack on our democracy, and he went out there and he spoke to the American people. It was very well received, and this is something that he's going to continue to do. He went to, obviously he was in Delaware, and then he went to South Carolina, also gave another impactful speech on our democracy and our freedoms, and then he went to Texas to honor a former congresswoman, EBJ, who recently passed away, and he went there to pay his respect. So the president did a three-day swing. He went to 4 states. He's been out there. He's been able to talk directly to the American people, and we think that's really important. Tomorrow, he's going to be in Allentown, and you heard from.
So you've heard about all of these trips he's made, right? It's been all over the news, all his speeches, right? These impactful speeches, right? You've seen them, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, this should be like front page news, how busy he is. Good day, Fed.
Morning, Fed.
Good to see you. Yeah. Very good to see you. Yeah. All of these speeches that he's been out there doing, it was big news, him being in South Carolina, Delaware. The only thing that I saw was on White House, and it was a short 1-minute thing of him basically talking about how much of a wonderful job he's doing. Like, that's really what it was. We are here to promote our democracy. Just remember this: democracy and Democrat are two different things.
Right.
It's not the same thing. People get this confused. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just saying that they're two different things. Democracy and being a Democrat are two different things. One is a political party, one is a political movement. Two different things. You figure out which one is which. Yeah, went to Allentown. He's got to be in Allentown.
Talk about small businesses, how important
small businesses,
especially in
how
Allentown,
important.
15 million applications in 3 years.
15 million applications in 3 years, but how many jobs? You know where Allentown is, right? In Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sort of shut everything down. Allentown went to the shitter. Like, I remember the 80s. Come on. There was a song about how industry got totally sucked out. It got sent over to Japan and China.
Yeah.
Started outsourcing everything. All of the work, steel workers, they just got shut down. Done, gone. See you, bye. No more for you, Allentown. Going back to Allentown. Yeah, Billy Joel sings about it. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, they only give a shit whenever it's politically expedient to give a shit. Other than that, they don't care about you. It's all
Oh yeah.
about it's all about making sure that they've got a nice, cozy place to be, that their stocks are doing well, because they know what stocks are going to move before you do, because it has to do with whatever policies they make. Democrats, Republicans, it don't matter. Do you think they really
Right.
care? Do you think they really care that, the teachers aren't getting paid enough? Do you think they really care? Because you're just a political
No.
pawn for them. For them, all that matters is like, well, let's see if we can change it up. So maybe I can buy get some books sent over by one of my buddies. And, that guy right there, it doesn't matter what he's writing about, because, I've got my stocks on the paper plants, because I know that they're going to be destroying all of these old books and replacing with new. So why not just, buy a bunch of more
They
stock?
care about their pets every 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you are. You're exactly. That's the best way to put it. You are our pets. You are our pet project.
Yep.
As Ice-T would say, how does Ice-T
All
put it?
these pets are going to start firing up in the next couple months. The
Yeah.
teachers union, BLM, trans stuff, like it's all just going to start firing up here in the next couple months.
Yep. You'll see them getting all worked up, and my answer to that is,
Are you stupid or something?
Yep.
yeah, that is exactly it right there. It's gonna ramp up. You're gonna see all these little protesters come out. They're gonna be all angry about every little thing, and it's so pissy and horrible. And you guys are so mean and cruel. The evil white man.
That's a record number because it's important to see how Bidenomics is working. He's going to talk about Bidenomics, but let's not.
Bidenomics. They say Bionomics, but she keeps saying Bidenomics.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
We see how it's working. That's the problem. We see how it's working.
Yeah, we do see how it's working.
Starting small businesses, they must have some confidence in the economy. So
no, people are starting small businesses because they've got to make money somehow, and you'll kneecap them because you'll get more registrations on them. Like if you're in California, you try to open up a hair salon, nail salon. Do you know how much licensing you have to go through for that?
Oh, probably tons.
And God forbid if you use any sort of chemical for their hair, how it might impact the environment. So you're going to be taxed extra for it.
I bet it causes cancer.
Yeah. It's just like, well, let's just add some more. Here's a perfect example. This is what it's like whenever you open up a small business. That's what it's like when you open up a small business. You're that seagull. You're trying to break through the window. You see it there. You reach for it. And then the government puts up the glass wall and says, nope, you ain't getting none.
Yeah.
And unless you've got some way of backing it, opening up your small business is horrible. My wife has a meeting today that's going to be so ridiculous because it's this person that want their small business thing. They want to do something that they don't even know the concept of what they're asking. And their ask is for a donation. It's basically what it boils down to, which you can't do. I mean, it's like they're coming in wanting to do this wonderful thing. Oh, we've got this great idea. We're going to do X, Y, or Z. But whenever you really crunch the numbers, it's not feasible because it would cost them over $3 million.
Whew.
And that's just if it's donated to them. It would cost them over $3 million. But they don't get it. They don't understand. And that's the same way with small businesses. If a restaurant opens up, like just take this for example. A restaurant opens up in a very big city like Atlanta, Chicago, New York, doesn't matter. Opens up. It's got a lifespan of about 3 years. If it isn't paid off and making money in 3 years, it will be shut down and gone for good. It'll never come back.
Right.
It's just that's how it works. If you open up a small business, it's the same way. You might have a few more years unless it's providing something unique that nobody else has. Because I mean, let's face it, you've got staffing. If your staff wants to make more money and you're paying more money out than you're making,
Yeah.
it's going to fail. It's going to be gone. If it makes it past that 3-year mark, you might make it to 5, but usually no further than that. And that's like your best case scenario.
Yeah. We just had another little business shut down her storefront. Like, people always going in this old building in town with little shops like that, and they just don't last because the market's saturated with it and things like that, and you just can't afford to do it.
And that's what she's talking about. Well, we got all these small businesses. Yeah, but just because, Sissy makes beads on West 57th doesn't mean that, like Gina makes beads over, right next door. And so they're competing against each other. The market's saturated. What, you're going to go to one over the other? You like them both. They
Yep.
both basically do the same work, or they're buying their product from the same people.
Yep.
They're
Well, that's
not
what
going to
everybody's
combine
all the time
businesses.
telling me. Why don't you sell your burn stuff on Etsy? Because everybody and their dog sells that stuff on Etsy. I can't sell it for. I would rather, same with like crocheting and other crafty things that I do. I'd
Yeah,
rather do it as a gift for people, and like with my burner, I'm still learning it, so I'm just making fun stuff while I learn, and
right.
maybe I'll do a craft show or something one day, but I'm not interested in making a
Yeah.
storefront online or anything like that.
Yeah, if you and it's not hard to like here in Georgia they have what is it, the they have festivals like Cherry Blossom Festival or something like that.
Mhm.
They have those like little kinds of festivals, Watermelon Festival, who knows, Moon Pie and
Hi,
RC Cola
Kaiser.
Festival. You
Look,
can
it's
show up there
Keister.
with a bunch of your stuff. What was that? I'm sorry, I missed
It's
somebody.
it's Keister pineapple.
Hey Kaiser, what's up, brother? Good to see you. So people show up with, like, say for example, you've burned a bunch of um uh, like cutting boards and stuff like
Yep.
that. You can show up there, you'd have them all stacked up, you can sell them for a couple of bucks over what you paid for them.
Right.
You know,
We have a lot of festival stuff like that around here.
right?
Like every little town has their festival, and I'll probably do some of those. And I do the bluegrass festival, and
Yeah,
I
and you're
may
looking
do
for one
that this
that
year.
if you do a booth that it's not gonna break you.
Right.
And you're just sitting out there. You've got a table that's set up, might be a plastic table, whatever, and you've got like a little cover over the top of it, and you're conversing with people. People are coming
Yeah.
up. You've got a little business card. It's just like, if there's something unique that you're looking for, I might be able to do it.
I can do the nice thing about the stuff that I do is I can personalize stuff. So
Right,
it's fun to have something made at a festival or whatever, and have your name on it or have your whatever on it. And
right. Yeah, there's a lot of places. I'm trying to think if it was in France. It might be in France, and I'm trying to remember if it was Brittany or somewhere else that we went to. But it was all over the place. You'd find these bowls,
Mhm.
and and they were all personalized. And the bottom of it would have a child's name, and all children were sort of given these bowls as they were little ones, and then they carried it on with them through their adult thing. It's like for porridge or something like that. It was so cool because my wife was like, "Oh, I could get one of these for the kids." The only problem is the two little ones. They're only one of them you could find the name for. The other one is sort of
Oh,
a
tell me
oddball name,
about it.
so
Mine,
you cannot find it.
I have a normal name, but the spelling is different. So I ain't never found a little license plate thing or whatever like ever in my life.
Yeah,
So
you spell Bobby with Bobbi and not Bobbie. I'm just using that as an example.
Yes.
So it's just like, yeah, nobody spells it this way, or spell
Yep.
it with one B or something
I'll
that's
have to
unique.
show you the stuff that I made for Easter the one year I did it at a craft show and I sold hundreds of those things because ain't nobody's kid anymore have a name that is on any of that stuff. You know,
Exactly.
so I sold hundreds of those things at Easter one year and Valentine's Day and stuff because
Yep.
I was able to put your kid's name or whoever's name on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And do you take your printer out there with you? Your burner?
This one I haven't yet. I don't. I could. Well, I would have to buy a purifier for it because it puts off a lot of smoke. Like I have it vented out the window at the house, but you can buy like a purifier for it to run through, and that
But if
helps it.
you're doing
But
it outside, if you're doing it outside, would that hurt anything?
oh, outside, no, it would be fine. But a
Well,
lot of
that's what I'm
like
saying.
in
If
the
you're at a
indoor ones,
festival, if you were at a festival and you had a generator, like
yeah, which I
like a
do.
gas powered generator, and then you take you put a power conditioner on that. Okay, so what a power conditioner does is whenever that generator is cycling, sometimes it'll give like spikes, and you don't want to have that on it because it'll burn up the power supply.
Right.
Get what's called a power conditioner, and it basically levels everything out and keeps it nice and smooth. Hal knows what I'm talking about. You get
Does
one of
it? Do you
those
have that
things.
same problem with an inverter?
Yeah, you can have that same problem
Okay,
with an inverter because what happens
'cause
is
that's what we have.
you'll get a draw on it, and whenever it gets
Right.
that draw on it,
Right.
it'll underpower it, and
So that
it'll
just keeps it steady.
yeah, it keeps it very steady. Yeah,
Mm.
just a power conditioner for it, and it'll cost a little bit, but it's so worth it. So worth it.
Right.
We used it a lot whenever we were touring, because whenever you got, 60,000 amps going through, 60,000 watts going through a power supply system, you have to have those. Yeah. Some inverters are not pure sine wave either. Yeah. You want
Okay.
sine you want to have sine wave, not square wave.
Mm, good to
Yeah.
know.
That's yeah. See, see, these guys have done audio. They know what I'm talking about. Whenever you start getting those big drops on stuff, things can go really wrong, like really bad, really really quick. And the last thing you want to do is be popping breakers and crap like that. So you want to get that thing just. There's a reason why you do sound checks, and it's not just for the sound.
Right.
So yeah, just and you can try it out whenever you're at home before you get out on site and make sure that everything's running smooth, that you're able to do it, you
Right.
know. But that might be something that, even if you've got a smaller one that, that you've like because especially if you've already got them printed out and all you're doing is adding a name to it, how long would it
Right.
take you to add a name to it? Like you
Oh,
have
no, it doesn't take.
sort of have like a template where you just sort of slide it in there. It sits in place, and it's always going to fire that name in that one particular spot, no matter the name.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't take very long to do. I mean, it all depends on how long the name is, obviously, but it don't
Right,
take a
right.
whole lot. Like, what it takes me like maybe 2 hours to do one of those cutting boards, and it's the
Whole cutting board.
whole
But
thing. Yeah.
if you got the whole cutting
Right.
board done and you're just adding a name to it, like you've got a little saying up there, you can go, well, you
Right.
can get it like this, or if you want to have it personalized, it'll cost you, $10 extra. I can personalize it with your name. And
Right.
if and all you have to do is just pay up. What I'll do is I'll put it on here and come back in like however long it takes, come
Yeah,
back in
we
15,
did.
20
We
minutes, and we'll
went
be done.
to the John Deere tractor show in Columbus a couple of years back. My dad had always wanted to go to it, and the year that he moved down here with me, it was the first time they had ever had it in Ohio. And so we were able to take him to that. And they had a booth set up with the one of these machines doing cups. And
Yeah.
they just got your phone number and they texted you when your cup was done.
Yeah, there you go.
So
So here you go. Mods has a question. How much power does that cutting machine draw?
you're cute. You're adorable, Mass. Like I know.
Well, you can look on it. It'll tell you. Don't tell you
Oh, I
how
don't
much it
know.
draws. Like, well, it's 1500, it's 500, 200,
I don't. I
1200.
could. I don't know what I did with my book for it. It's probably in that. I don't. It's inside of an enclosure, so like being able to look at it, I don't.
Yeah. You know, just
I don't know.
look at the book. You'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah.
But this is the first time I've been able to stream over to Kick. This is awesome. 2 viewers over there.
Awesome.
Kick. No
Hi,
messages, but got 2
hi,
viewers.
kick people.
Hello, Kick people. So
I don't even know what
greetings.
kick is, so
Kick is another platform, sort of like Rumble or what do you call it, Twitch, that kind of stuff.
okay.
So I was just like, yeah, I wanted to do a little bit. I was able to finally set it up with the help of Jess yesterday.
Okay.
She was
She's into all of them.
well, yeah, and also because my StreamYards I can stream to multiple platforms. I think there's a
Right.
limit on how many I can stream to, and I'm
Yeah, depending on what level you have, it's a different number of ones you can stream out to.
oh, I've got a good level. I can actually have space for I think one more like admin on there
Okay.
and like 4 co-hosts or something like that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's like I'm on Baker's.
Yeah.
So when he does baking, or because Jamie doesn't like to, she doesn't want to do any of the clicking of the chats or anything like that.
Oh,
So
nice. Fairly, it's important I don't draw more than the generator can deliver, and you properly want to leave some safety margin. So yeah, if your inverter is only putting out 1500, you don't want to be doing it at 1500. You want
well,
to be
I'm
doing it.
sure the inverter that I have can handle this machine because it runs my camper. So
There you go.
I don't
So,
hardly think this draws more than my camper draws.
yeah, but does your camper have a dryer on it?
A what?
A dryer, a coffee
Like a
maker.
like oh, well, it runs the air conditioner and everything else at the same time, so they don't have a
Mm,
dryer in it, but
But would it be able to run
God,
your
y'all gonna make me
AC?
go look at this dang machine, aren't you?
No. These are serious questions.
Oh, I
If
know.
if you're running your AC, are you able to run a coffee
I can
maker?
run the air conditioner and the microwave at the same time, so
Okay, so it might be able to handle it. And that's
yeah,
all I was saying is that that may be able to handle it. Because it's all about the amount that it's drawing off.
right,
And those little cutting machines, I'm sure because it's firing up a laser on there that it's given a
right.
pretty good draw. So just something to keep in mind. Like, do your lights dim in your house whenever it fires on?
No,
Then it's probably not drawing as much as you think. Hey, KLI,
right.
good to see you. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning,
Good morning.
KLI.
So here we are sitting at 9 o'clock. See, and today is my my Saturday because
Oh,
I'm off on Fridays. I don't have to work. I
right,
probably will be doing some work just because I've got to strip out this room. And
right.
my wife has a trial coming up that she's going to have to handle, and I've got to pull all kinds of documents and get them lined up because she's trying to get a timeline of some stuff. So
hmm
that's how my day is going to be going. What about you? You're going to get some sleep, right?
Yep, I'm gonna sleep
That's sort of your
today.
goal.
Yep, Saturday's my Friday, so
Yeah. Yeah. It's my days are insane and always will be. We'll have to see how next week goes because next week
yeah,
I don't know where I'm going to be streaming from in my house because this room is going to
right.
be cleaned out. I mean, it's going to have to be cleaned out by Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of like my whole weekend is going to be spent doing that. Most of my day today is just going to be organizing everything and probably throwing a bunch of things away because I think I have like empty spools for 3D print stuff. And of course, Dave's print failed like halfway into it.
Oh,
So I was
no.
like, well, shit. And so now I'm going to have to get some more filament for that just so because I don't want to be halfway through it and run out. But
Right.
I'm just like, I can't be running it right now until until this room is taken care of. And I've got
So can that be reused or anything when you, or
the
is it?
filament. No,
Yeah. No, once
unless you.
it's
Now
printed.
they make machines that'll break down the filament and chop it into smaller bits, then heat it
Right.
up and extrude it out onto a spool, and then you can reuse it and remake stuff with it. But what's the quality going to be? Maybe
Right.
good, maybe
There,
bad.
Hal
It's
has
like
solved your problem.
the cam girls and stream from your car. Ah, dude.
Like MG.
Yeah,
Can I start calling MG a cam girl?
you could. You could totally call him a cam girl. The only thing is, it's probably a good thing that he doesn't show his
Right.
chocolate starfish online. Just
Yeah.
saying.
I mean, how do you know he doesn't?
As he told me he doesn't. I don't think he would lie to me. He wouldn't lie to me, David. You don't show your. Hey, Starabelle, good to see you. Good to see you. Sorry, I'm slacking on saying hi to everybody. I'm so
No.
horrible like that. But of course, as all good things have to come to an end, I'll probably shoot everybody over to Shelley's, and
Okay.
I think Baker will probably be streaming later today if he's not
I think
already.
he's going at 9:30. I think I saw it pop up.
Well,
So
shoot, if I hang out here for another half hour, I could keep you guys like entertained for like a half an hour, and then
you ought to
have
finish watching that girl, the Walmart girl.
Oh, that's right. We got to finish watching Walmart Girl, don't we? Let me pull that. Thank you very much, because I almost
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah, we'll keep you guys here for a half hour, and then throw you over to the baker. See, I have to spread the love around. I can't just be
Not
sending
even
you
a
guys.
half hour, 15 minutes, or less than.
Yeah.
He's going at 9:15, it says.
Oh, it says 9:15. Let
Yep.
me get that set up real quick. Because if I
Yeah.
throw you guys constantly throwing you guys over to the same person, you're gonna go, yeah, that's not what I wanted to see. I have to spread the love around just a little bit. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, let me get this all set up. And absolutely love Shelley. So if you're wanting to do the Shelley stuff, that's fine.
I sent the link if it doesn't pop up on you again.
Let's see. Yeah, see, that's so weird, but I think no, there it is. Day
Okay.
2. I've got it right there. Save. And it's there. And then, of
Awesome.
course, we will close up our poll because today is Kiss a Ginger Day. Today is Kiss a Ginger Day. So if you know a ginger, kiss a ginger. And it says, today is Kiss a Ginger Day. Have you kissed a ginger today? 55% no. And then there's 37% said, my soul has already left my body. And 7% say yes.
That was just Ballstorm.
Yes, Ballstorm is the 7%. Oh, cool. Today, Tal is a great bass player. Excellent.
But has he kissed Valhalla for me yet today?
No, he's saying Tal Wilkenfield was on Lex Friedman's podcast. That's awesome. That is
I don't know who
awesome.
any of those people are.
You don't know who Lex Friedman is? Oh my gosh. No. Lex Friedman is a MIT graduate that does like robotics and things like that. Really, really smart guy. I believe he's originally from Russia.
Cool.
He's good friends with Michael Malice. You know who Michael Malice is, right?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. So he's had on like Jeff Bezos. He's had Elon Musk on.
Yeah, I know who those two are.
He had Dr. Curry from the Depp trial on.
Okay.
Talking with her, having a conversation with her. And he's very stoic in a way. He does more of the interview type. He wears, black suit, black tie, and that's sort of his shtick. Lex's voice will put you to sleep even faster than he's got a pretty good.
But what about Baker's? Baker's the one that puts me to sleep.
He doesn't have an accent like Baker. He does not have an accent like Baker.
So does
But
Jess.
I'm thinking he's from Russia. He might be from. It's definitely one of those European countries that he's from, but I honestly couldn't tell you for sure. I want to say it's Russia. I know.
The name sounds familiar, but I don't.
Yeah, Lexus. He's pretty solid. He is pretty solid. Now, let's see where we've got. Where is it? Oh yeah, it's under bookmarks, because that's what I wanted to show you. We got it. Go for the Walmart girl and put it right about there. I want to say present. Just zoom in on it so we can get all of her glorious anger. All
There
of
you
her
go.
glorious
He's from
anger.
Russia.
Okay, yeah. Says Wikipedia, but it speaks really good English. I mean, like pretty solid. You wouldn't know unless, well, you knew.
Right.
And share this. Here we go. Walmart girl. Come on.
Of doing that. 20 years ago when you were getting started, you could live on your own. 20 years ago when you first started, you were able to do everything that I am now struggling to do.
I just had to pause right there. She has really nice white teeth.
Let me add another perspective here.
A little crooked, but that's okay. It's okay. She has pretty teeth. Probably the whitest I ever came across.
You've been working for 20 years. You have 20 years of working experience behind your belt. You
know who Jeff Beck is?
Exactly. That's what happens when you get experience.
I know. It's weird how that works. Experience. Her voice is very annoying, but that's okay.
You have 20 years of experience in a career that has allowed you to gain raises, to get more money.
And that's how it works.
That's how it works.
And just think, in 20 years, that could be you also. You've got to get the experience. Yeah.
To profit you in an economy that you created.
Yeah. But it's also an economy that you support.
Yeah.
I know that it's an economy you support.
Because I can look at you and tell all the things that you support it with.
Yeah. The car, the phone, the ring, hair ties, all of that.
Yeah.
It's part of your economy. Those seat covers, horrible seat covers. You know why she's got those seat covers? So she can shake out all the cat hair.
You can sit here and you can call Gen Z lazy all you want, but I've been working.
This chick sucks. Suck it up, Buttercup. That's right, Kaiser.
Yep.
Good morning, Gutter Girl. Good to see you.
Good morning, Gutter Girl.
Yep, that's how the system works. You can't get experience if you don't do the work and the time. Yeah, that's the hard part about it. Caitlin, she started a new job. Okay, last week she started the job. She's like, I'm so busy. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is so much work that I'm doing, and I'm doing the things I want to do. I'm doing filings. I'm doing court cases. I'm showing up in court, doing this. I'm doing that. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. And it's just like, yes. And she's getting the experience that she wanted. Like the last place she was at, it was like she was answering the phone.
Yeah. And she hated it.
Yeah. It's like, this is not what I want.
So that's not what she wanted to do. So she went out and did something about it.
She changed she changed her position.
Yep.
And used it as a stepping stone to and didn't cause a ruckus at work, didn't cause problems, wasn't up in people's shit about it. She just knew that this is not what I want to be doing. And she looked around and found what she wanted to be doing and strove for it. Now she's living maybe not the best part of her life, but she's living a much more enjoyable part of it.
Right.
Plus she's closer to home. So she doesn't have the long commute that she had before. I mean, change your situation. You don't like it, sweetheart. There's the fucking door. There's the door. Go elsewhere. Because I guarantee she's making more money than I was making at her age.
I guarantee she's making more money than you were making at her age, because the minimum that she's making is $15 an hour.
You know what I was making at it's 20 something years old? I was lucky if I was able to eat a breakfast. That's how much money I was making.
Yep.
I was lucky if I was making $100 a day. Lucky to be making that. I mean, touring does not pay a whole lot of money. Just as a roadie, as a musician, you don't make a whole lot of money. You're sort of, there's a reason why they call them starving musicians. Trust me, I starved many times. You know, oatmeal is really inexpensive. Yeah. Except where are you going to cook it at? If you're in a hotel room, you don't have a hot plate where you cook your oatmeal. Yeah.
Oh, that's Baker. I'm like, why is there music playing?
Okay. You're less like, why music? Yeah, it's Baker.
I'm like, God, Shizzy, why are you playing that really
hang
loud
out
music?
for a little bit. We'll finish this up and we will send you over to Baker. Just know. Nowadays, a microwave, not in hotel rooms. Hotel rooms, you'd be lucky you can find that. I mean, you can still have like the little microwave down at like the front desk or something like that. And a lot of times you find places that have like the continental breakfast, and then you just load up on as much carbs as you possibly can, and hope that it makes it through the day. And hopefully the bar that you're going to be playing at, or the venue you're going to be playing at, has some sort of catering, or they have some sort of discount on food. Like I would eat before I would drink whenever I was playing. And a lot of times they're just like, you can have whatever's on the tap. You can have pretty much unlimited, but it'd be like Coors Light or some crap like that. And, and then, we'll feed you like a burger or something like that. We'll go early scouting. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. $100 and 25% of the door sucks. Yeah. Yeah. You're lucky. You're lucky to get that. It's crazy.
Working my tail end off just to barely make it by. And respectfully, I don't want to do that for the rest of my life.
Well, get used to it. That's what's going to happen. Or you can just go show your asshole on OnlyFans. One of the two. Either which way, you're probably going to be making about the same amount of money when all is said and done. It's either you get that instant gratification of money right now, or you work your way up from the ground up and get to a point where it doesn't matter. Because I guarantee you go flashing your booty hole on OnlyFans. Yeah, you can make a lot of money, but who's going to hire you after that?
Most of them don't make a whole lot of money anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
I think
they'd be
Baker's
lucky.
got the stats on it, actually.
Yeah, it's like, what's the average? Like 10, 20 grand a year?
I don't think so. Only a handful of people make any kind of money on it.
Well, that's
Baker's
what
got
I'm
the
saying.
numbers.
It's like well below minimum wage. We'll just have to ask Baker.
I hope I make all kinds of money off of my Baker footage I'm putting on mine.
Yeah, but her butthole would be clean if she opted for the latter. Yeah, but here it's this kind of mentality that thinks communism is a good idea.
Yeah,
exactly. And until communism is actually a really good idea until you're on the receiving end of it. It works great for the little guy, that doesn't want to work too hard. She goes, I'm only getting 40 hours a week. Okay. You know how many hours there are in a week, right? So strip clubs right over there. Just saying. Of course, nobody wants to listen to you talk. So
I don't want to work my tail end off, wasting all of my life.
Get used to it. This is what happens. I burned through a good 20 years of my life before I was making good money. Easy 20 years burned through my life before I was making good money. I lived off of ramen noodles for almost a year entirely. Off of ramen noodles.
Working just to barely be able to pay my bills. And that is what you created, not Gen Z. We're just here getting started. You've been doing it for the last 20 years.
She's like, hits that tone where it's like, what did you say? What? I didn't quite hear you. Here, let me throat punch you. Oh, there we go. Now I can understand what you're saying.
You tell me how it got ruined.
It wasn't ruined.
It's not ruined.
It's not ruined at all. This is the way that it goes. This is life. You don't realize you're a slave to the system. If you don't like the system, well, then change your leader.
You work at Walmart. You're not working your tail end. You're not on a workover rig or something. Busted.
Come on. You mean she's not working at Target?
Oh.
Mac and cheese and hot dogs again. Yep. My go-to was cheese sandwiches. Yeah. No, I learned how to be very self-sufficient because of that. Like I had roommates that were like, why in the hell you're eating steak? I was like, yeah. Like, how are you doing that? That's so expensive. I was like, no, it's like $2 for like these two steaks. It's enough to feed me. It's not enough to feed you. It's like $2 for that. I've got some broccoli. We've got some potatoes. You know, might have a beer, like doing the cheap beer. It's like, you know, my whole meal would cost like $5 or something like that. And it was
I
all
said yesterday,
healthy stuff.
Kaiser, she wants what her parents have that they worked their whole lives for. She wants that today.
Yes. It doesn't realize you have to work to get to it.
Yep.
Packet of cheap white bread and plastic cheese slices go up a long way. Yeah, they do. Peanut butter. Peanut butter is high in protein. Lots of potassium in the bananas. You know, rice is cheap. Steak for one, cut up into 4 slices. A packet of frozen vegetables. Yep. This is what I'm talking about. I could do this on a regular basis. Whereas my roommates, they would order a pizza for like $20 for the two of them. So it's $10 a pop, and it's just pizza.
Right.
Like we're talking like, you know, a pepperoni pizza, 2 liter of Coke or whatever the hell they were drinking. And me, I would just go and I would show up. You know, I had a frying pan, I had a plate, a knife, a fork, and a spoon and a cup. And I would, you know, make my meal, wash my dishes, pack it all away. I never had leftovers because I found out the hard way. If you had any leftovers, you get up the next morning and because they were getting stoned all night, they would eat all your fucking food. So I made sure I never had leftovers. I'm like, I'm not feeding you. I had the leftovers, so I had a meal tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had sandwich like bread and stuff like that, I had a place in my room that would be locked and they couldn't get to it. Because if not, they would go and tear through my bread, cheese, whatever.
Right.
It's crazy.
This is not a community meal.
Yeah. And with very careful shopping, $50 can buy a lot of groceries. Yeah. With careful shopping, $50 could feed me for, 2 weeks. Easy. Just me. You know, add another person in there, it starts getting more expensive. So you get off my lawn. Get off my lawn, you little rodent. Her name is Oat.
Her name is Cat.
Looks like oat. She looks like an oat.
She looks like a cat.
Yeah, she looks like a cat. I'm telling you, she's a cat lady.
Crazy all you want, but you let the economy turn into what it did. You let it all run to hell.
Oh, okay. Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan. Sure, Jan. Sure. And this is all I say to her.
Excuse me, ladies. Did you hear about the guy with the 5 penises? His pants fit like a glove.
And now it's Gen Z's fault because we don't want to work to fix your mistakes.
Yeah. We don't want to work. We could have just left it at that because that's what it is.
It's exactly what it is. We don't want to work. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. And I found the perfect intro for Jessica Reloaded.
Oh,
You want to see it? It's awesome.
yep.
Hey, Riding Hood, want to be eaten by the big bad wolf?
Fuck you, new bomb.
Yes. Perfect.
that is Jessica Reloaded right there. Fuck you,
Oh, 100%.
Not happy, Jen. Not happy at all. Exterabel's like, yeah, that's totally Jessica
just
Reloaded. This is awesome. I was able to do one of these every day this week.
awesome. I love it.
I'm enjoying the morning.
Me too.
It's a good start to the day, and I appreciate chat. You guys are so accommodating to me. I really appreciate you guys coming by in the mornings and showing the support. And it makes me go, you know, really
Right in the feelers.
Yeah, it does. It makes me feel pretty good because you sit there and go, I don't know, is anybody even going to bother showing up?
And every day it's a couple new people and
Yeah, new people
lots
showing
of
up.
familiar faces.
And all you got to do is hit the thumbs up, and you know that I'm going to be here if I can. If I'm not, you won't get a notification. I mean, and I don't know how next week is going to go. We'll find out. We'll find out by the end of today. I'll know exactly what's gonna happen.
Good deal.
Because I'm going to be tearing all of this out. It's going out of this room to make room for my gutting of the place. Oh, we should get up at 3:30 a.m. with you, but no, not doing it. Well, the trick is not to go to sleep the night before. Stay up all night, partying, drinking, and then pass out about 10 o'clock in the morning, and sleep all day. Do the whole rock and roll musician kind of thing. That's what you do.
Live that night shift life.
Oh yeah. No, that would be really bad. That would be really bad. But anyhow, I'm going to jump out of here. Farrell, you have a wonderful day.
You too.
And of course, chat, you all have a wonderful day. And
tell Baker we said hi.
Yeah, tell Baker we said hi, because that's where I'm sending you all. So peace.
Bye.